the hurricanes happened, their apartment really got messed up. Their apartment complex, their apartment, the majority of the furniture is all mold from the water damage and the humidity that happened. So again, everybody who donated last night, appreciate you guys. This means a lot. This is to make sure that my brother and his partner are able to escape what's going on in Florida right now. So again, appreciate you, Santana, and shout out to the chat and everybody who's here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, listen. What? Hey, W's in the chat for free. What up, free? Um, Guys, just to make sure you understand, again, every single dollar that we raise on Late Nights with Santana, so last night, tonight, and tomorrow night, every single dollar that we raise will go towards mutual aid, meaning we will be helping out Uptown Sports Brother escape a horrible situation that is occurring in Florida. So if you are able to, please, please, please consider donating. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the mutual aid. And guys, just because Late Nights with Santana has a 3-night run does not mean that that's all that we're going to be doing for mutual aid, because even while doing sparring with Santana, yes, sparring with Santana, we will also be donating a portion of those funds towards mutual aid. So again, guys, if you have it, if you can spare it, please consider donating, because this week, mutual aid week, will be helping out Uptown Sports Brother. But let's be honest, in the future, it could be you. We're a family. We're here for each other. We want to take care of each other. We're a community. Thank you. And we're going to take care of each other. Hey! Somebody just sent out some subscriptions. Who just sent out subscriptions? I missed that. Who sent out subs? Hold on. W's in the chat for Gen C. Thank you so much for sending out those subs, Gen C. You're absolutely, absolutely far too kind. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 25,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well. Let's get the shares up to at least 50 shares. We're going to go around the panel and do some quick introductions. If you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. Again, this is Sparring with Santana. What does that mean? That means that any and everyone is welcome. We would love to get some Trump supporters up on the panel, and definitely you will have an opportunity to speak. But if you are a friendly and you want to join the panel, then you absolutely, absolutely can. So we're going to go around the panel, start with some quick introductions. Uptown Sports, I'm coming to you first. Uptown Sports, are you a Trump supporter? And have you had the opportunity to review the new proposed 2025 budget from the Trump administration?
No, I am not a Trump supporter. Far from that. And yes, discussing from last night, when it comes to SNAP benefits, when it comes to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau being taken out and sniped out of existence, that's something that should be alarming to everyone, especially small businesses. And if you're somebody that, when it comes to the banking system, the banks are just going to have so much power when it comes to screwing us over even more. So that's the brother.
Oh, we're gonna get into that, because I think his name is Russell Vaught. I know his last name is Vaught. I think his first name is Russell, but there's some interesting stuff coming out from there. But we will get into that in just a moment. Alina, hola, Alina.
Hola, Santana.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Alina, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And have you had an opportunity to review this new proposed budget?
So everybody knows that the only orange leader that I support is Chairman Mao. So no, I'm not a Trump supporter. I only support Chairman Mao. And if you know, you know. And I have looked at the budget. It is devastating, but honestly, not surprising. We kind of knew that this is what we were going to see. And I just hope that the people that are going to suffer from it have community around them to help them out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what's so interesting about what we're doing. And while we're here, we want to make sure that we are capitalizing on community, because community is going to be so important over these next couple of years. So that is super, super important. Guys, I just realized apparently I said sparring. I didn't mean to say sparring. I apologize. This is Late Nights. This is not sparring. I apologize if I said that. I absolutely apologize. Free, how are you?
Hi, Santana. It's been a while.
It has. You don't like us like that anymore, Free. You've been all around, but you haven't been here on late nights.
My phone got permabanned, so
Oh,
I had to
okay.
start over too. And it was something stupid I did. Nothing. I wasn't a bad girl. I was being a mom and didn't pay attention to my phone. Somebody got on screen too long.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Free, can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter? And have you had, I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Have you had an opportunity to look at this new 2020 proposed 2025 budget?
Yes, I have had an opportunity to look at it. I will say this though, I've been more focused because of my past employment um, of the federal cuts, employee cuts, and pay more attention to national security issues such as terminating the NNSA staffers. That's been more of my focus because for me, if it all goes kaboom, the budget won't matter. But I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm a bitter USAID employee. You can put it that way.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Thank you, Free. All right, Kidder, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
Wonderful. Kidder, are you a Trump supporter? And have you had an opportunity to take a look at this new proposed 2025 budget?
Well, I wasn't a Trump supporter. I was a loyal Democratic supporter, but something just didn't seem right to me with the whole COVID situation.
C19, my friend.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
You can't say that either on TikTok, no?
Yeah, listen, the TikToks is funny, and which I'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, they have certain stuff that they don't like.
That's also something that, the censorship as well.
Well, you do understand, and we'll get into it, but that's only TikTok. Like, it's the algorithm since it's a privately owned page. But yeah, it sucks. It does. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
But for me, I see that we do have a major problem, which, when you look at the depth that we're in, something has to be done, right? We can't just continue the status quo, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to make some sacrifices.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
If we don't, I think that houses will just continue to be more unaffordable, because people rush to assets when they see that the economy is just the money isn't going as far as it used to. So what do? You just go to assets. So that's why we can't afford houses right now. I think the debt has a big reason for it,
Okay. All right.
We need to cut back spending, cut back on taxes. We're the demographic in the United States, we're very young. So I think we have a good growth opportunity the next, 5 to 10 years. I do.
Okay. Perfect. Give me 1 second, my friend, okay?
Yep.
Coy, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Wonderful. Coy, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to take a look at this new proposed 2025 budget?
I am not a Trump supporter, and no, I have not. I'm trying to find the PDF right now to see if I can read through it.
Yeah, I'll post the link on the page in just a few minutes for anyone that has not had an opportunity. You can definitely go ahead and take a look. But all right, perfect. Give me 1 moment, Coy. Armando, how are you this evening, my friend?
Oh, man.
Armando, are you okay? Nope. Armando, you just muted yourself. I'm going to send you a request to come off mute, my friend. All right, we'll give Armando.
Didn't mean to join.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down, my friend. You're good. Thank you.
All right.
Nona, I'm sorry. Nona 3K. You are out of the app. Oh, and now you're gone. Okay. All right, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Share the live out. Do all the wonderful things to let the TikTok know that we are in the building. I'm going to keep resetting this gift goal so we can hopefully get more push out. Guys, I just want to remind everybody real quick. Hey, thank you, Jen. Guys, this is Mutual Aid Week. Mutual Aid Week, meaning that we are doing something that's going to be beneficial to other people. That is our purpose for this entire week, is making sure that we do something to help our communities. And with this week, we are helping Uptown Sports Brother escape a horrible situation in Florida. So guys, everything that you donate on Late Nights with Santana will go directly to this mutual aid. And every third week of the month, we will have Mutual Aid Week, where we help people in and outside of our community. With that being said, guys, W's in the chat for Hannah. Hannah sent a $2 donation to the mutual aid saying happy Tuesday. Hannah, thank you so much for that $2 donation. W's in the chat for Ellen, who sent a $20 donation for mutual aid. Helen, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you for that $20 donation. And massive, massive amounts of W's, absolutely massive, massive amounts of W's in the chat for Jen. Jen sent a $100 donation saying this is the first of 100 of the $500 pledge. Jen said that she was going to donate $500 to mutual aid. She kicked it off with a bang with donating that $100. Jen, thank you so much for that donation. Guys, again, remember, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to help support mutual aid. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Last but not least, Twitch, YouTube. What up, though? We are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. And if you take a look at the screen, we do have a Twitch/YouTube calling number. So if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube and you decide that you actually want to join the conversation, if you are interested in joining the conversation throughout the night, whether you want to speak to me, you want to speak to someone that's on the panel, if you have something to add to the conversation, you can definitely give us a call at that number that is listed on the page. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And you know what? Kidder, I want to start with you, my friend. I want to start with you because you said some things that definitely sparked my interest, right? So I tend to actually agree with you. This is the funny thing, right? And chat, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, don't unalive me. I'm sorry, don't unalive me, but I tend to actually sometimes agree with Trump supporters. Sorry, right? But the agreement is, I do think that there's a need to actually get our government spending under control. I do. I think that irresponsible spending is a horrible thing, and then also bloated budgets, and also, not really understanding where our funds are being sent to is actually a horrible thing. Guys, we have someone already on the call line, so let's go ahead and get this person in. One second.
Call from
Patrick Driscoll.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, and I'm sorry, I missed your name. Can you say it again?
Of course. My name's Patrick Driscoll. Oh, I'm not getting a recording. I got through.
Oh yeah, no. Patrick, you are on right now with Late Nights with Santana. Are you watching us on YouTube or Twitch?
I'm watching you on TikTok, I think.
Oh, okay.
Am I live? Can people
live.
hear me right now?
Yeah, everybody say
Oh
hi
my
to
gosh.
Patrick.
Hi. Wow.
All right.
Hi. I apologize. I've never heard of you before, but you appeared on my feed about 2 minutes ago, and I was reading. I'm like, I may as well call, and here I am.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Patrick,
So
hold
do you
on
want to
one
ask me
second.
questions? You want me to start talking?
One second. So we have a panel up. So as you can see, the people that are on the screen as well, they're up here with you. So we're gonna have definitely have a conversation. But I have two questions that I have to ask before we get into the conversation. So the two questions are: one, are you a Trump supporter? And two, have you had an opportunity to review the new proposed 2025 budget?
I am a Trump supporter, and I have not read the 2025 budget.
Okay, perfect. All right, Patrick, give me 1 second because I was in the middle of asking Kidder a question, but I'm going to come to you next, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. All right, Kidder, my question to you, because again, I do agree that there needs to be some type of responsible spending when it comes to our budget and actually making sure that we are managing things. But with that being said, does it not concern you some of the actual proposed cuts that they're making, especially when you talk about like $880 billion cut to Medicaid, where, for the our last planned budget, there was only $880 billion in Medicaid, so that would completely eliminate it.
Right, but I think that the biggest fraud is Medicaid.
Okay, tell me about it.
The situation is, everybody knows how much ambulance ride cost, or if you try to go to as an emergency room visit alone, it should not be $10,000 for an ambulance ride, or whatever it is, 5,000.
It's a lot.
Right. So I think that there just needs to be some legislation to control that part to lower. I think that's what he's trying to do is lower the cost of hospital visits and stuff like that by trying to cut off the fraud and the, we all know it's bloated bills. We all know that. We know something isn't right.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Okay,
know? So
okay.
that's why I'm saying I see the cuts in Medicaid, but I think it's going to be offset by savings.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Give me 1 second. Patrick, are you there?
I am. Hello.
Okay. Patrick, so I want to hear from you. Because, again, again, I am someone that definitely thinks that spending definitely needs to be curtailed, right? I do agree with that. Howdy, partner. But with that being said, what are your thoughts around these proposed cuts? Because there's a proposal to cut $880 billion from Medicaid, which a lot of people actually rely on. It actually came out that not only is with these cuts to Medicaid, the $880 billion worth of cuts to Medicaid, but the $230 billion cut to SNAP, both of those things are going to directly impact veterans, right? So there's a lot of people that are relying on these actual funds, but they're going to be eliminated. What are your thoughts around that?
Okay, my knee-jerk reaction is I don't know enough, and I know you're stating these numbers, and I'm not going to say tell me the source. I can do that on my own. My situation, I'm 56 years old. About a year ago, I've had a hip issue. I've been unemployed for over a year. I just got on SNAP a month ago. I've applied for disability, Social Security. Again, I'm only 56. In Medicare, Medicaid, I have not applied for that. So that's my situation. Now, as far as your question about these cuts, I'm sure you've sourced this. Again, I don't know exactly what that means because I just got my SNAP card, which I mean, I've been working my entire life since I was 14. So
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I will say, it's a bit off topic. I apologize. I know the topic is the 2025 budget. I will say, I'm a gay Republican. You can probably tell from the way I talk, which is fine. Oh, come on now, please.
No, listen. I would never assume, but also, I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, my friend.
Go ahead.
Also,
Okay,
not
so
gonna lie,
my
he
point
sounds
is,
like Todd Cranes.
I've been a Republican. I registered Republican when I was 16, which is when I don't know, 1986. So I've been a Republican. My parents were Democrat. The Republican Party, the MAGAs, have been nothing more than supportive, accepting, loving. They don't care who I sleep with.
Really?
They don't care.
Okay.
The left, especially in the 2016 election, I lost every friend I went to college with because they were all left-wing liberals. I lived in Chicago, in the city. I lost all of my friends, zero. I have no friends from that part of my life. I have no gay friends, except I've got one friend across the hall who's a gay Republican. So just on that fact alone, who am I going to go with? The people who accept me for who I am and don't criticize, don't judge, or the people who they're just hateful, absolutely hateful.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I definitely want to get into that because that's an interesting statement, and I think that's something that we definitely want to talk about, right? And I know it's a little bit off topic, so we will veer off just a little
apologize.
bit.
I apologize.
No, you're perfectly fine. Let me just do this real quick. And Patrick, this is for you as well, and just for everybody in the chat. If anyone is looking specifically where they can find a good breakdown of the proposed budget, you can actually go to cop.gov. COP.gov is the Congressional Budget Office. It gives the actual budget proposal for its 2025 to 2035. It gives a breakdown of all the numbers, everything that is actually proposed, but also it gives multiple links that gives different information about different categories. So if you want to actually learn something specific about other items that are in the budget, then you can actually go to this publication where it is broken down and it talks about the proposed budget. All right. So I just wanted to get that out of the way for a second, and also wanted to get this out of the way real quick because we got two new people on the panel. Jennifer, how are you? Jennifer, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute, my friend.
Hey, Santana.
Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the new proposed 2025 budget?
No, I did not. No, I am not a Trump supporter, and no, I did not.
Okay, perfect. Hold tight for me one moment, my friend. Dr. Truth. Dr. Truth, how are you?
Oh, fine, Santana. How are you?
Wonderful. Dr. Truth, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the proposed 2025 budget?
Not a Trump supporter, and somewhat I have been able to review it, definitely.
Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, Damon, thank you so much for the subscription. All right, so let's get into this for a second because I know it's a little bit off topic, but guys, I would love to actually get into the point of what Patrick just said. And for anybody who's wondering where Patrick is actually calling in on our Twitch/YouTube line. And so he's talking over the phone to us right now. And Patrick actually said that he felt more embraced by the right versus he did how he felt by the left as being a gay man and someone that was willing to support Donald Trump. So I guess the question that I would have, and let's come to Alina. I'm going to lean on you for a second. Alina. What do you think about that rhetoric as someone who spends time on this app every day, right? Because I know you do your own lives. And your lives aren't even necessarily revolving politics, right? But you tend to get a lot of people who are, in the political sphere who come up, and they tend to be, MAGA. So do you think there's some credence behind what Patrick is saying as far as them being more friendly or loving versus the left? Or what is your experience, or what's your take on that?
Absolutely not. And only based on the fact that I get called to see you next Tuesday just about every day, multiple times a day. You would be as a spectator, you would be surprised at like the vitriol that gets thrown at women, especially for a party that claims to have family values and traditional family and all that. We love our women and we want to protect our women. I hear that a lot, and honestly, like I think his experience is probably because it's people that he knows, people that he's friends with. So obviously, like they're gonna, they're probably the kind of people that say, "Oh, I disagree with your lifestyle, but I still love you." Like I know that we've heard people say that kind of stuff before, but a stranger, I wouldn't trust. If I was him, I wouldn't trust a stranger with my life. Someone that's on the right with those views.
Okay, that's a fair statement. Hold tight 1 second. Kidder, you are the only other Trump supporter on this panel at the moment. I would love to get your opinion. Do you feel like the right is more welcoming to people of other communities versus the left, or what are your thoughts?
I honestly think it's just a rhetoric. I think we need to worry about more important things. Unfortunately, we're distracted by these issues. I think most people who are American, I would tend to believe most, not all, obviously, don't really care if you're gay or what. I mean, I don't know if that's a word I could say.
Yeah, I know people are gay.
Yeah. I don't think we know about I think most people are worried about cost of living, affordability, child care, things like that. I just think it's just a distraction.
Okay, all right, that's a fair statement. Okay, guys, I'm gonna flash the actual page back on the screen again because I see multiple people saying that you didn't get to get it. You didn't get an opportunity to get it. It's Congressional Office. No, I'm sorry, Congressional Budget Office. It's Congressional Budget Office. I'm gonna leave this up just for a few moments, just in case anyone. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, guys. Just in case anyone wants to try to find this, and so you can look through it. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes just to actually see this. Let me read these off, guys. W's in the chat for Olivia sent a $5 donation to the mutual aid week fund. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. Olivia saying, love you, Santana. I love you way more. Thank you. W's in the chat for Ashley. Ashley sent a $10 donation for mutual aid. Ashley, you are so kind. Thank you for that $10 donation. And guys, W's in the chat for Alina. Alina sent a $10 donation from Chairman Mile. Alina, thank you so much for that $10 donation. Guys, remember, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the way that we are supporting mutual aid. Remember, anything that you donate this week will go towards mutual aid, which we have my friend up here, Uptown Sports, who is helping raise mutual aid for his brother who is trying to escape a horrible situation. Him and his partner are trying to escape a horrible situation in Florida, and any and everything that you guys can do will be super beneficial. So if you have an opportunity to donate, please, please, please consider doing so. All right, Patrick, I want to come back to you for a second. Because
Okay. Hi.
I love the thought process and the experience behind what you're saying. But I guess I have a question because Kidder did hit something. He said something, right? Something that I found to be very interesting, where you're saying that you felt accepted, right? You felt accepted by the right, and they actually brought you in. But then you said you felt somewhat shunned by the left, right?
Well, yes, I'm gonna change the tense a little bit.
Okay.
I have been.
Okay.
I've been a Republican since I registered when I was 16.
Right.
So I've been a Republican my whole life, through the thick and thin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not some epiphany I had. I've always been pretty conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Not pretty. I'm really conservative. I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm sorry. Go ahead with your question.
No. You're fine. I guess the question, and I think you might have answered the question a little bit already, because the question was going to be, hey, thank you, Jen. The question was going to be, holy smokes, what? I was about to say, what is that? The question was going to be with the actual, the rhetoric around this past election is we were told that the left cared too much about the quote unquote things that don't matter, right? The things like Kidder said, we need to stick to, the cost of things, and we need to talk about how things are affecting other people's lives. And that's what the quote unquote left was told. I guess with that being said, it seems a little contradictory, or it contradicts itself, because a lot of people say that, the liberals or the left are like bleeding hearts, where the right only care about facts. So I guess I'm still a little bit confused how you could feel more welcome. But when you said that you've been a conservative since you were 16, that makes sense. But hey, where were you able to register to vote at 16?
when I had to, or excuse me, 18. My apologies, 18. When I had to, what's it called? You have to sign when you have to sign up for, gosh, I can't think of the term, but so that you can be drafted into a war. What is that called?
Selective service.
Selective service. So I apologize. When I was 18 and I registered to vote, I had to pick a party. Again, my parents were Democrats. Anyway, I apologize. It was 18, not 16, and it was when that was happening. And might I add? Well, I won't even get into it. Never mind. Go ahead. So that's the answer to your question.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's loop it back around, because again, I do want to kind of stick on the topics and listen. Kidder has been kind of hitting on a couple of different things. I don't want to be up here. My bad. Oh, okay. No worries. I'll drop you down, my friend. Kidder has been kind of speaking my language in a couple of different ways with some of the things that he's speaking to. So we're going to try to get back on topic, and we are going to go from there. So I guess let's move back to Free for a second. Free. So I know you have certain skin in the game, but if you could for me just a moment, take a step back. Can you talk about your thoughts around the possibility of cutting $880 billion from Medicaid from people who desperately rely on that every single day?
Personally, when I look at the cross comparison of where money is being spent and where money has been given versus Medicaid, I'm a little bit disturbed. When I see $400 million given to Elon, then 8 million for a contract, and then I see funds being taken away from Medicaid, in which some cases veterans after actually can have both their retirement and Medicaid assistance because maybe your retirement isn't enough for you to live off of. And medical bills are one of the number one things to make people homeless. There, it's in the top. It's in the top. I just find it kind of inhumane. And I find that it's really just a play on words on trying to cut spending. There's so much better stuff to look at that's inappropriate in the federal government and cutting spending, such as the recycling or reuse of security clearances and how you have to go through this whole process all over again, even for the same agency sometimes, and go through an investigation, and that's wasteful spending. There's so many other things that can be addressed than going after something that is regarding someone's health and well-being. Over.
Okay. I hear you. Kidder, would you like to reply to that?
Well, I do agree with her standpoint with Elon Musk. I don't agree with him. Definitely. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
I definitely don't agree with what she's. I agree 100% with what she says about Elon Musk getting these subsidies from the government. Absolutely, that should not be allowed. But with this standpoint of the spending, they shut down here. I live in Boston, so they shut down the Kennedy library here, which, to be honest, I said, you know what, that's actually a good cut. I don't really see people visiting it. I don't see people visiting it, no.
Wow, okay.
I'm always around there. I mean, you get some people, but again, it's not very. It's just a waste of money. It's a huge space. It could be used for other things. In my opinion. Everything's on the internet. Maybe move this stuff to a bigger museum. It's little cuts like that I am witnessing. So I don't agree that he's not cutting in the right places either.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I've never heard anyone really say they wanted to see a library closed. That's interesting, but
the Kennedy one. I mean, that one. Not just not libraries. That one.
Okay, I guess give me a little bit of perspective on that then. What's so different about the Kennedy Library?
It's historical. It talks about Kennedy's life and things he's done.
So
it's not like a library. It's not like a library that you go to look for a book,
Oh, it's okay. Someone said it's also known as the JFK Museum.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right. I guess so. That's what I was confused on. So you don't want JFK to be remembered? I'm confused.
Of course I do. No. Of course, but I'm just saying, if there's something you can cut, you have to cut something. Okay, and I understand it's John F. Kennedy. God bless his soul, did great things, but he doesn't. We don't need to be spending money, where we could put that stuff in a bigger museum. Maybe find not to delete his history, absolutely not, but just to maybe take his stuff to a bigger library, cut the building because they're paying the lease for that building as well. The employees that work there every single year. You have the internet if you want to look up his life. It's just we have to cut something. We can't continue on the status quo. You have to do something.
Okay. All right. Hold tight for me just one moment. Uptown Sports, I know you wanted to actually chime in on it.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Kidder, and with full due respect, you bring up the workers, so you're okay with cutting their jobs and how they pay their bills?
I mean,
that's necessary.
My counter argument is something has to be done.
So cutting people's jobs and how they pay their bills, that's a good thing for the economy in your eyes?
I mean, they could possibly find other employment. We have 6 million, I believe 6 million job openings.
So you're telling
it's not that they're going to be unemployed.
Kidder, how did you feel when Hillary Clinton told truckers that they need to learn how to code and switch jobs? How did you feel about that?
It's what do you want me to say? It's not you don't have to listen to her. You could just continue trucking.
But we don't have to listen to you.
Why? Because somebody tells you
working at the library. Workers could still work at the library. Why close down a museum that are paying people money to pay their bills.
You're acting like they won't have employment ever again. What do you could find another position.
Okay. Hold on, because I do want to drill down on that for a second because I have another thought behind that, but I know Free had her hand up. Let me read these off. Guys, W's in the chat for Gene. Gene sent a $1 donation saying, the right isn't more accepting at all. They hate those of us that are from the LGBTQ community. They're not accepting of him. They're tokenizing him, try and spiffy up their image. Guys, W's in the chat for Gene for that $1 donation towards the mutual aid. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Jordan, who sent a $5 donation towards the mutual aid. Thank you so much for that $5 donation, Jordan. Guys, again, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to help support. This is Mutual Aid Week. Again, we are raising mutual aid for Uptown Sports' brother who is trying to escape a really bad situation. Them and their partner are trying to escape a really bad situation in Florida. So if you have an opportunity to donate, please donate. Every single penny is going to that actual mutual aid, and we are doing that. Listen, every third week of the month, we will have mutual aid week here on late nights. So this time it's Uptown Sports brother. You never know, it might be you. So if you can actually spare it this time, please consider donating. Free, I'm gonna come to you, and then
if you can just come back, just because I had something to speak about the Medicaid. I used to be a 911 supervisor working EMS, so Free, I'll wait after Free. Free
okay.
Can
Okay, yeah, we'll come back. I want to get the Free. I also want to make sure that we loop in the other people on the panel as well. But Free, go ahead and say what you wanted to add.
It's just something I don't think people are putting enough thought in this, that are just frivolously agreeing with what agencies go down. So I'm going to give you just an idea of what is happening, especially in the humanitarian and human rights law realm, okay? Government, nonprofit organizations or .orgs that operate, such as Mercy Corps, such as the Carter Foundation, all these other nonprofits that are out there, they do not operate just off of donations by public. They operate solely off of federal grants. And what that may even mean is that there's some kind of action that needs to happen in a country. A country has asked for help to do this. Then the U.S. government sends a bill or a proposal out, and then these nonprofits will bid on this proposal to do it because they may be a subject matter expert at it, and they go do it. If you stop the federal grants and you stop any other funding to them from the federal government, even the nonprofit jobs are gone. My career is gone. I have to now look at losing 20 years of experience. It's gone. I can't get a nonprofit job because they won't have the money to maintain a staff on any substantial level, and the government is coming after them. So please, I just ask that you put a little thought in the process of, okay, how does this look out on the market? There is no market for me now. It's gone.
Okay. Thank you for that, Free. Kidder, I want to give you an opportunity to split. Not split. I want to give you an opportunity to actually respond, and then I'm going to push it around the panel a little bit more. And I have one thought towards what you were saying, but I do want to give you an opportunity to respond to not only what Free just said, but also Uptown Sport.
It's unfortunate. I wish the United States wasn't put in this position. We are in $36 trillion in debt. Something has to change. We continue this trajectory. It's not good. Federal Reserve says it themselves. This is unsustainable. Unfortunately, we have to go through some tough periods, and it just is what it is. Life isn't always going to be rosy. You're going to have trials and tribulations. It's about how you're going to respond to those things.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. I'm gonna hold my point. Jordan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Jordan, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review this proposed 2025 budget?
No, I am not a Trump supporter. And in terms of the budget, I have read a little bit about it and seen it on different lives, but in terms of reading it, no, I have not.
You have okay. So I'm gonna mute you just for a second. You have who has the echo? Oh wait, Patrick, are you near like your phone or something or watching it? Patrick, are you there?
I'm sorry, I just muted. I'm sorry, don't hate me.
No worries, no worries. I was wondering where the echo was coming from. That was Patrick, guys. Just for anybody that's wondering, we have Patrick on the phone. Patrick, guys, we do have a Twitch/YouTube calling number where if you are on Twitch or YouTube and you want to join the conversation, you can actually call in by dialing the number that is on the screen. So we do have Patrick on the phone. That's why you can't see him on the panel, but he is a Trump supporter that's on the phone. We're going to come back to Patrick in just a moment. Guys, W's in the chat for AJ. AJ sent a $40 donation to go towards the mutual aid. AJ, thank you so much for that $40. You are absolutely so kind. Thank you. And guys, W's in the chat for Jesse. Jesse just sent a $1 donation saying, hey, just got here. What did I miss? Jesse, you missed a lot. We have a panel full of people. This is Mutual Aid Week. All the funds that we raise are going directly to helping Uptown Sports Brother escape a horrible situation in Florida. And we are just running through these topics. We run through the 2025 budget. And also, guys, W's in the chat for Justin. Justin sent a $5 donation towards the mutual aid to say, yeah, things are only rosy if you're a cisgender straight white man. Yeah, whew. Listen, Justin, you said a word. W's in the chat, guys, and just a reminder, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Jordan, I want to come back to you because I thought you had the echo. What would you like to add to the conversation?
I would just like to add that when it comes to where I feel like it seems like on the outside that Republicans are more accepting is because they don't like to focus on like how people are different. And like that may seem like that is a good thing, but our differences matter, especially given the society that we live in. So what I mean by that is, like, you'll generally have Republicans that'll say things like, well, we're all equal, we all have the same opportunities, there's no differences as you as you go across different types of demographics. But in reality, where the left actually focuses on, like, for me, example, I'm a Black woman. Mm-hmm. I don't get to the reality. You may want to live in a fantasy that I have the same opportunities as a white man, but in reality, that is very much not the case. I don't even have the same opportunities as a white woman. And so, again, as you go across demographics, things are not equal, but the right likes to pretend that they are. Like, they like to pretend that these intersectionalities, that these demographics don't matter. And so that seems to convey itself as being, like, really accepting no matter who you are. But that's only because they like to ignore reality, whereas the left is like, look, you're a Black woman, you're a Black transgender individual, like, all of these things matter, and we live in a society where parts of who you are, parts of your identity that you can't turn on or off.
Okay. Yeah.
Can't step into or step out of,
Absolutely. I think you have something there, and you said something that actually reminded me of a conversation I had today where basically a guy was just trying to say that, he doesn't want to be looked at as a Black man or anything like that. He wants to just be looked at as an American, which, again, speaks to the thought of not embracing that individuality. But Patrick, I want to come to you, Patrick. Patrick, do you think there's any truth to that? The fact that more so, and I'm sorry, but it kind of sounds like Kidder co-signed this when we asked him about it. But do you think that the right, more so than being accepting, wants conformity, so doesn't really want to embrace your individuality?
Hi, and I apologize for the echo.
No, you're good.
I've now moved to my computer, and now I'm trying to figure out how to call you back in on my computer and not my phone. But that's a sidebar. Really interesting what was said. So, I'm not going to give you a long-winded story. I will tell this audience, I am 56. I was worked for a mortgage lender for 18 years. Rates were down to 2 point, name your number. Biden, and I don't want to get into the whole thing. Biden was elected, rates went up to like 7, 8, 9%. After a few years, I had some issues emotionally with mental health problems, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I eventually got, my salary was cut. I was demoted until I was let go. Why I'm saying that is because people, I saw what I was doing, and people who were younger, Black females, were moving into positions. So I just want to say, I have no white privilege, zero. I was pushed out of a job. Okay. For, and I'm sure these people are, I'm not judging anyone's intelligence or anything, but when you're 25, 26, they can get paid less. Loyalty meant nothing to this bank. Again, I worked for 18 years for this bank. I started there like at zero and worked my way through management, et cetera, and just got kind of pushed out with others. And I saw it happening. I mean, I was in the office while it was happening. And even, after COVID, I went back in the office as soon as we were able to. So I can see why people would think that, but, and P.S., I tried to get a job in what I do, and I couldn't get one for a year, and still cannot get one.
Well,
and
so let me push
go
back
ahead.
on
So sorry, did it answer the question? I probably ran around.
No, you're good. Let me push back on you for a second, because like you said a lot, right? You said a lot, and I promise you I'm going to address it. I know for everybody, even the person on the back end, yes, I heard what was said, and we are going to address that, but give it a moment. I want to take a whole step back, and I want to give you another opportunity to kind of speak on the specific question, because you started speaking on your experience and saying that you were pushed out of a job and things along those lines. But you didn't actually answer the question, though, around, do you think the Republican Party wants conformity versus individuality? Is that why they, you might feel more accepted by them because they just want you to fall in line versus expressing who you are?
I think it's the absolute, it's converse.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't feel that at all. I'm kind of surprised at the question.
Okay.
No offense. No, I think if I was not in lockstep, or if I am not in lockstep with the left, it's game off. There's nothing there. Right wing is the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. I can have different opinions on, again, A, B, C, D, E. I'm not going to get into issues, but I'm not demonized, excluded, hated on. You hate I have a dollar for every time I was told I hate myself. I could be retired. It's unbelievable the hate that comes from the left. It's unbelievable.
I hear you.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, 1 second. So I'll leave this point here, right? With you, there's a saying. The saying is, the left falls in love while the right falls in line. Talking about their political preference and how they actually support their political candidates, meaning that that the left tends to actually try to find someone that they can fall in love with before they're willing to vote for said person. And if they're not in love with that person, then they're unwilling to actually vote for that person. Where the Republican Party, and I mean, let's be honest, we saw multiple times how before Donald Trump actually became the candidate, that there were so many people willing to speak out and say, call him all types of, not only names, but call him out on all of those things, including his current VP, who called him the Shitler of the Republican Party. But as soon as it was time for them to actually vote, they immediately fell in line behind him, even though they had all of these reservations about him. So that's why I said that. But
That is a great point.
Yeah. But let's.
Is there a way for me? Is there a way for me to go? Because I'm in front of my camera on my computer. Is there a way I can disconnect here and get on, like, so you guys can see me?
Yeah. I mean, you can come up from TikTok. If you just go on your TikTok and then request up, we can get you on the panel.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna do that just so you guys can see what I look like. I'm actually quite pretty.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Okay. Bye.
All right. You know what? So I'm gonna hold on. I know you guys want to address that white privilege comment, and I want to address that white privilege comment as well, because to say that you don't have white privilege, but I'm gonna wait until he gets back so we can actually hit that comment, because that was wild. W's in the chat for Jordan. Jordan sent another $5 donation. Said, I think Patrick is calling in from. I think Patrick is calling in from an alternate reality. W's in the chat for Justin, who sent that $5 donation towards the mutual aid. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support live. To actually help, to help support mutual aid. We are doing mutual aid week. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Let's actually go to Dr. Truth. Dr. Truth, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you? You're doing good, I imagine.
Yeah. Dr. Truth, I want to come to you because we're talking about multiple things. Now, is it Dr. Truth because you just tell the truth, or are you an actual doctor?
No, actually, I'm not a doctor, so no doctor.
Oh, okay.
But I do tell the truth. Okay. I try to tell the truth at the most of the time.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, I was gonna put it. I was gonna throw the question to you in a specific way, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the floor. There's a lot of different things happening with this proposed 2025 budget, including the Medicaid cuts, the SNAP cuts, the reduction in student loan protections, and also defunding environmental protections. I know you said that you had an opportunity to read through some of it. Which one of these would you like to address and kind of speak to?
Medicaid, definitely.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I have a business. Okay. I have been an insurance broker for the last 20 years, and I worked closely since the ACA was enacted in 2011, through 2013, when we had the troubles with the computers and such. I do well for myself, thank God. But this thing with the Medicaid is a travesty because it was not thought out very well. And I'll tell you why. And this is my point. $880 billion.
No, it's not a toy, Liam. No.
I'm sorry?
Sorry about that. We just brought someone else in on the panel. I apologize. Go right ahead.
No, $880 billion cut is going to mean that millions of people are going to lose coverage, okay? Mm-hmm. So how do you tell somebody to decide whether you eat or you take your medicine? Okay, let's start with that. Mm-hmm. The second thing is the minimum cutoff for the federal poverty level this year is $15,060 in the non-expansion Medicaid states, such as Florida, okay? So in order to qualify for a ACA plan, you have to make a minimum of $15,060. So what are you going to do with these people when they leave Medicaid? The millions that you're going to cut from Medicaid, where are they going to go? Somebody had mentioned earlier that, for example, going into a hospital or going into an emergency room or going to the hospitals charge a lot of money, obviously. So these people are going to end up for their care into the emergency room, obviously. So that's going to raise cost for hospitals, and we're going to go back to pre-ACA, pre-ACA, where we gave 20 million people coverage in order not to have people in emergency rooms. So we're going to go back to that because a lot of people depend on that Medicaid to be able to see a doctor, to be able to go pick up their prescriptions, to be able to go to the emergency room if they need be. And also there is the SNAP, obviously there's the monies that they get. There's a lot of people in fixed income. I work a lot closely with Medicare, and they have dual eligibility, meaning Medicare and Medicaid. They call them Medi-Medis in my industry. And those people are on fixed incomes where they make about let's just get an individual with $750 income, okay? That is a fixed income that they get from their retirement, okay? And how do you expect them to pay the rent, pay their food? Because with having the Medicaid, it helps them a lot because it gives them extra money. They get the supplemental income that get it from Social Security, and then they get extra money from those Medicare plans that offer extra money to pay on utilities, food, with having the Medicare and the Medicaid eligibility. Okay. So to me, this is a travesty. I'm sorry, I spoke a little bit too much, but you're good. You know, it's $800 billion. 800. So whoever thought about this is, and I'm just going to say one more thing. Mm-hmm. I just compare kind of like to the tariffs, and don't get me started with the tariffs because I've been studying the tariffs a lot. Okay. And with the tariffs, you know, we if you go back to 1930, we know what happened with the tariffs. I don't have to say any more about the tariffs. You know, so I'm sure you have discussed it before, and I have heard it before. But this is like whoever thought about this, that this is going to help America economically. Let's talk about it like we don't care about the people, medically speaking, because forget about that. They don't have to eat. This is not economically viable for the country. This is going to bring more inflation, and it's going to bring more misery to this country as far as money-wise. Money-wise, the country economically is going to go down because of these cuts. Yeah. Okay. In my opinion, this is my opinion. By the way, I'm not. It's not set in stone, but I'm giving you numbers. I work in the industry, so.
Absolutely, guys. Let me say this real quick. So I was told to go to sub only because you guys aren't tapping the screen. I didn't get an official answer whether it is sub only immediately or to give you guys a 10-minute countdown, which normally I do 10 minutes. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give everybody. There's a 5-minute clock. There's a 5-minute clock. Never. I had already. There's a 5-minute clock. You got 5 minutes to get the likes up to 100,000 likes. If we're not at 100,000 likes in 5 minutes, we are going to sub only. We're going to sub only if we're not up to 100,000 likes within the next 5 minutes. Also, if you are interested in getting becoming a subscriber, please consider subscribing. You get access to an amazing Discord with amazing people, amazing community, a bunch of resources, and our mutual aid channel. You also get access to Fast Pass if you want to actually join the panel for these conversations with Late Nights with Santana. And you also get access to a bunch of really cool emotes. Subs, if you could, drop some of the emotes in the chat for me, please. But yeah, if you would like to actually subscribe, please consider subscribing. Or if you like it here and you want to share the love, you can actually send out a subscriber to someone. With that being said, I want to go to I want to come back to Kidder. I want to come back to Kidder for a second because Kidder, and I'm not picking on you, but as what's his name, Patrick left. At the moment, you are the only Trump supporter. Well, I got to check in with the two new people or a couple of new people, but I want to give you an opportunity to speak to that because Dr. Truth said some really important things as far as speaking to the impacts that cutting Medicaid is going to have on our country. And I know you were speaking to the positivity as far as cutting Medicaid and how it can be beneficial, but he ran through the numbers, and I know Free hit a couple of different points as well. It sounds like economically and also socially that this cut is going to be really bad for the country. What do you think after hearing both of those factors?
I mean, I've been studying economics for about 5 to 6 years. It's not really much time. A lot of people are veterans, 20, 30 years into it. So, maybe take what I say with a grain of salt. But honestly, I think the economy is going to be perfectly fine. You had news yesterday where Donald Trump said he's going to drill and lower energy costs. When it comes to Medicaid, I mean, we also have a lot of peace going on geopolitically, which also helps with prices. I think he's more of a peacemaker.
Wait a minute. Listen, I let you slide with the first one as far as saying, the whole drilling. I was gonna let you keep going, but you said peace, hey, Hey, Kidder, this is the first.
Geopolitical, yeah.
Hold on, this is the first time that you've made me go here out of everything that you said, Kidder. No, see, you messed up. You threw me all off.
Why did I throw you off? What did I say?
You said that Donald Timothy Trump is a peacekeeper.
Well, Russia is willing to negotiate. Ukraine as well.
Ukraine is not willing to negotiate. That's the problem. Donald Trump is negotiating with Russia without Ukraine's consent.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I got that backwards.
Donald Trump wants to occupy Gaza. Donald Trump wants to take Greenland. Donald Trump wants to take the Panama Canal. Donald Trump wants to annex Canada.
Yeah. No, yeah, you got me there. You got me there. Can't say nothing else.
Okay.
You got me with that one, bro.
All right, well, I mean, at least you're willing to...
I do think, but the drilling part, fine. Let's go back to the drilling part. You got that. You got that point.
Well, I'll let you keep going on it, even though that one's not true as well.
Terrible,
I'll let you finish,
terrible.
but yeah.
But the drilling part, I do think that his economic, we're gonna be fine. I think America's gonna be fine. We're gonna have lower prices. People gotta be more patient. Things don't change it from day to night.
Okay. All right.
Allow the cuts to happen. Allow the energy prices to come down, and you'll see the results.
Okay. Hold tight for me 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Call from.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, hold on 1 sec. Patrick, we got you back. Hold tight one moment.
You got it.
Also, guys, just an FYI, when you call in, if you call in on the line, the Twitch/YouTube line, if you call in to join the panel, please only say your first name. Only your first names. Only your first name. And also, guys, congratulations. You definitely hit 100,000 before that 5 minutes was up. I knew that you could do it. All right, I missed it. Someone said that they wanted to say something to
me, Doctor.
Okay, yes, Dr. Truth. Go right ahead.
Yeah, just to kind of respond to the gentleman that was just speaking about that we're going to be fine. I mean, I would like to know how fine are we going to be if all these cuts are being done without thinking about the repercussions that are going to cost to the economy of the United States. Not only that, but you say that it's going to be fine when I mentioned earlier about the tariffs, and I have spoken to in several panels about the tariffs, and they just say that he's just doing it because to threaten the other countries and to get leverage, when in reality he isn't. You think that China, Mexico, and Canada are playing games? They're not playing games. They're taking them seriously. Right. So if we go into a trade war, history has proven itself that trade wars don't work. Listen, I am from a country, I am from Colombia. I remember back in the 70s, I was very young, but I do remember when they started playing trade wars with the United States, and that didn't pan out too well. That doesn't work. Even for the United States will not work. I know that we have this thinking, specifically, and I hate to say the right and the left because, listen, I consider myself more of a in the middle. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, and by the way, I'm a registered Republican, okay? But I voted for Harris. But in the same token, when you look at the whole scheme of things, you think that you would think that the Republican Party would have more thought into these different policies that are coming out, or all these executive orders that are being written out, without thinking about the consequences. There are consequences to everything that we're doing, and let me tell you something: the world is not afraid. They don't think that the United States is all that in a bag of chips. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I've been all over the place. Yep. I've been all over the world, so I know.
Absolutely. You're seeing that now. No, you're good. You're seeing that now where we have a lot of people or a lot of countries who are positioning themselves. I mean, you see France, who's sending troops to Greenland to actually help protect Greenland, right? There's other countries, there's allies who are, taking the opposite stance from us. And so it's a whole thing. Guys, I want to introduce the other new people on the panel because I know everyone has had an opportunity to kind of speak. I want to get around to the new people on the panel real quick. So let me start with Sandra. Sandra, how are you? Sandra, are you there? Sandra, I'm sending you a request to come off mute. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 125,000 likes. Also, if we can knock out the daily gift goal, it's the donuts. That would be super, super helpful. And guys, last but not least, this week is mutual aid week. Every third week of the month, we will be doing mutual aid week here, where we help someone in and outside of our community. So if you are in the Discord, if you ever need support, we do have a mutual aid channel where you can put your mutual aid there, and we can try to see what we can do as a community to help support you. But also, every third week, we will be looking to bring to actually pick one person either from the channel, or we have a mutual aid email. The link is in my bio. If you are not in the Discord, if you cannot afford a subscription and you actually want to get mutual aid, then you can send that email in. But guys, this week, mutual aid is going towards Uptown Sports' brother, who is trying to escape a horrible situation in Florida. Him and his partner are trying to get out, and so everything that we raise is going towards that. So if you have anything that you can donate, please consider donating. Anything is accepted. Everything is appreciated. You can hit my pay link, Santana Speaks 24, Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. So we had to drop Sandra. So I want to come to Mercy. Mercy, how are you? Mercy, are you there? Mercy going once. Mercy going twice. All right, Mercy, I'm going to drop you down as well. I'm sorry. AJ, I know you're there. Don't let me down, AG. Marcy. It was Marcy, not Mercy. Marcy.
I'm here, darling.
All right. Marcy, AJ, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to take a look at the proposed 2025 budget?
Hard no on the Trump supporter part. And yes, I have taken a look over the budget.
Okay, perfect. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Whew. Okay, couple things.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about taking cuts from children, elderly people, disabled on Medicaid. We're talking about taking from veterans. We're talking about taking from SNAP. We're talking about taking from all of these things. And it makes me look at the situation from a psychological perspective. And when I look at it, it's like you have this president who has literally made you hate every single thing else around you except for him. He's made you think DEI is only black. He's made you hate T people in the alphabet. He's made you hate Hispanics. He's made you hate everybody around you. So it feels like you are isolated to only him. He is your only hope. And the truth of the matter is, he is basically taking away everything that you stand for. You say you stand for veterans, but you'll take from them. You stand for children. You're so pro-life, but you'll take from them. You stand for all of these things, but when this one man says that he's gonna take all those things away, suddenly it becomes okay. So my issue comes down to the fact that you're choosing person over country, and you're choosing person over self. And that, in so many spaces, is like being in an abusive relationship. The first thing an abuser is going to do is isolate you. And that is exactly what he's doing right now. He is putting you in a situation where everything around you, you're deciding to hate. People are separating from you because clearly you don't see things correctly. And you're okay with being isolated and feeling alone because the only thing that you have to turn to is the one thing that you put all your faith in. And that's this man. And he's literally sweeping everything from under your feet and lining his pockets and then telling you that you're the problem.
Okay.
It's insane. So I've been waiting to get on your panel.
I know that's right. I know this. Guys, W's in the chat for AJ. AJ says she gonna show up and show out. I know that's right.
Hallelujah.
Listen, okay, hold on one second. Paul, are you a
I'm sorry. Tina, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
And then I promise you I'm gonna let it be. To old buddy that was saying he sees black women coming in taking his spot. I just want to say it could just hard maybe could be because black women are the one demographic in America that hold more degrees than any other demographic. That could be why. I don't know. Could be me.
Okay. Well, we got Patrick on the line, and I'm gonna let Patrick respond to that in just a moment. But hold on. So let's do this. Paul, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to look at the proposed 2025 budget? Paul, I'm gonna send you a request to come off mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the outside. I'm looking from based in Ireland, looking in from you at you guys, and it's not looking great from our side of the world, to be honest with you.
Paul, don't you come in here and tell us how bad we got it. We know it's bad,
No,
Paul. We know it's bad here.
I don't. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that at
Oh,
all.
man.
I just the last week has been a very aggressive from Europe stance regarding Ukraine. But yeah, I did have a look at the tax plans coming in for 2025, and they're not very prosperous towards the common people. You know, the everyday workers. It seems that there's very little going in favor as tax breaks for the average person.
Yeah.
Everything seems not at all, actually, if you look at it.
Yeah. So Paul, let me say this, because normally, you know, I'm like, oh, you don't go here and all of that other stuff. But I'm gonna give you a moment to speak, because I do want to hear your thoughts on something. You said something that was super interesting. Can you, from your point of view, right? You being outside of the United States, looking in, what are your thoughts as far as what's happening in the country at the moment, and then also where, you know, the Trump administration and the United States currently sit on the world stage, in everyone else's eyes?
They've completely alienated themselves, and it's not the American people. We get that. The administration have completely alienated everybody. For Peter to stand up there and JD Vance to give speeches in Munich, they completely alienated nobody.
That was
has
so
given a
bad. It was
speech.
so bad.
Oh my Christ! It was just so. You remember the boxer? He's Mayor Kiev now, Klitschnik. I mean, I've never seen him look so angry. And I mean, you've seen him box. He was in the audience there, and he looked like he was about to tear someone's head off. You know, everyone there was just so angry. I mean, nobody could side with it. It was just such an angry atmosphere. And plus, I mean, your man was a Peter Hegseth. He was drunk on stage. There's no one.
Listen, Paul, I saw. You saw him taking sips? Who drinks
he was
water like that, Paul?
He was drinking at a bar. Any alcoholic will tell you that was a guy leaning on a bar drinking alcohol. That wasn't someone drinking water. That was a drunk. From the first drink, he inhaled it. You heard the noise of him inhaling that drink. He didn't drink it. He inhaled it. And any alcoholic will tell you that's the side of someone who can't tell the difference between drinking water and trying to get alcohol into them. It was visible to. That's not just me saying it. We all recognize it. I mean, any alcoholic will say that is someone desperate to get a drink into them. You don't drink water like that. He was the same he was the same at the meeting the next day. He was inhaling that drink, but he looked like a guy leaning on a bar chatting to other drinkers. He didn't look like someone giving a talk, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so Paul, I'm gonna drop you down because
of course.
But listen. I appreciate you coming up and sharing that perspective.
Sorry, I'll just throw a quick one at you. I see Eric Adams is getting let off, and 7 DAs have now handed in resignations because none of them will sign off on it, and they're a mix of Republicans and Democrats. None of them want to be the one to sign off on Eric Adams, the New York mayor. None of them want to be the ones to sign off on his release, like on not charging him.
Yeah, So the actual governor of New York has talked about the possibility of removing him But I know it's weird. Some of the Democratic Party, they're not interested in actually taking that stance. It's the craziest thing. But literally, it was a quid pro quo, right? The Trump
Yeah, well,
administration wants him to work with them.
it comes back to this time around. Trump wants people he can control, not people who'll talk back. As in an alcoholic, Kennedy, who's a bit of an oddball ex-addict. Eric Adams now obviously have things hanging over him. He seems to want people he can control and that can't talk back. He's not putting anyone in a position that will be able to argue with him. They're all in a position beneath them, and basic people who can't argue back.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Paul, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you so much for coming up, my friend.
Cool. Nice talking to you guys.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you. Same.
Guys, W's in the chat for Veronica. Veronica sent a $5 donation to say Trump did not make them hate. The hatred was already there. You're absolutely right about that. I think Trump just exposed the hatred. Veronica, thank you so much for that $5 donation to the war. It's the mutual aid. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to help support Mutual Aid Week. Mutual Aid Week, we are looking to help support our community, support those people. Listen, over these next 4 years, the most important thing is going to be community, and it's going to be sticking together, and we need to have each other back, and that's why every third week of the month I am doing Mutual Aid Week here on Late Nights with Santana, where we actually pick someone who needs that support, and we raise funds for them. For this mutual aids, we are raising funds for Uptown Sports brother who is trying to actually, him and his partner are trying to actually escape a horrible situation in Florida. So if you have it, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. I want to come back to, or I want to introduce Raven real quick. Free, I know you have your hand up, but I want to introduce Raven real quick. And also, Dr. Truth, can you please go on mute for me? I think there's something going on with your microphone. But Raven, are you a...
I'm sorry, I am on mute. I think it's just I keep tapping the screen. Is that what it is?
No. It might be something. Okay, we got you. Never mind. Raven, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to take a look at the 2025 budget?
I am not a Trump supporter, but I am from Canada, and I think his budget cuts are absolute ass.
Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak because I would love to hear your position as a Canadian, again, outside looking in. But I'm going to have to swap you out so we can get someone on the panel that's inside of the country, okay?
Yeah, of course. I think that as a Canadian, it's absolutely absurd that people are voting for someone who they're expecting is going to give them better prices for groceries and living and medical care, education, whatever. And instead, all he's done is cut budgets for those things. He's now putting tariffs on Canada, which will in turn make things more expensive for not only Canadians, but also you guys in your country. And I think that that's not okay, especially considering Canada has been the biggest ally to the US. We've done a lot for you guys, and you guys have done a lot for us too. And I think that it's just honestly unbelievable that he would treat the US's closest ally and alienate the country as much as he is. Not only from Canada, but from many other countries now too, almost everywhere.
No. So I have someone said in the chat he's trying to isolate us. He absolutely is. And I guess this is the question that I always have, because I see like Canadians chiming in, and I see Canadians actually boycotting, and I see them, booing and all this other stuff. And I'm like, darn right. I'm right there with you. And so I guess the question that I have, though, is from the Canadian citizens' point of view, do you guys look at it as like all of America, or is it like you understand, is there a separation between the administration and the people? Like what perspective have you seen as far as handling the situation as far as what's happening in the U.S.?
I think there's definitely a separation. I don't have anything against America, but I think most people, it's specifically Trump. It's not even Republicans. It is specifically him who's causing these issues, as well as Elon Musk. And I I don't think any Canadian that I've spoken to is holding it against America as a whole. It's definitely just Trump who's being unfair. And also, I don't think a lot of people take into consideration that the rights that are taken away in America in turn transfer over to the Republican Party, well, the Conservative Party in Canada. And as for what America does with trans rights, gay rights, abortion, anything of the sort, as well as prices, will affect Canadians. And I find it inconsiderate that a lot of, not only Americans, but Canadians don't really take into consideration how America so gradually will kind of leak into Canada with their issues.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you coming up. I'm going to drop you down, Raven, okay?
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, Debbie's in the chat for Mama Rebel. Mama Rebel sent a $25 donation towards a mutual aid goal, saying thank you, Santana, for all that you do. Mama Rebel, thank you for all that you do. I see you down in the chat, showing out, representing. Debbie's in the chat for Mama Rebel. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to actually support mutual aid. If you are able, please consider donating. This is Mutual Aid Week. I know that people have their hands up. I want to come back around the panel. I forgot. Patrick, are you still there as well? Patrick, are you still with us? Yeah, Patrick is still here. He might have walked away from the phone. I forgot. I forgot about I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot about Patrick. I did. I forgot. Guys, we got a phone line, and we got Patrick on the phone line. Whenever Patrick comes back, we'll make sure to get back to him. Let's go around the panel.
I am still here.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. I'm not gonna lie.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I forgot that you were here, my friend.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. But give me 1 second. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna start with Free because Free had her hand up, and then Uptown Sports, and then I'm coming to you, Patrick. We're gonna introduce a new person. We're gonna keep moving around the panel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hold tight 1 second.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Free.
I'm 56 and I'm trying to do it from my computer and my phone, and obviously it's not working very well. But that's okay.
Hold on. Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right, Free. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not here to be the doomsday of anything, but I need us to do a little bit of reality check. The first reality check, and I've said it in the comments, I want everyone to realize that Mexico is in North America. With that said, they're eligible for NATO. NATO can be from the northwest, and NATO can now be in the south. Should Mexico take the steps to join NATO? That's just something to chomp on as we try to invade them technically with military troops in the future, or any other future acts or perceived acts of threatening their sovereignty or acts of war. That's just something to think of. So when we talk about how Trump is really damaging international relations, we need to remember that the balance of power can change really quick, and Mexico and Canada can be a concern for our economy in the future. They also don't have to continue. They also don't have to continue trading with us. They don't have to do it. They can use us, which is called purchasing price parity on the international market, and find a replacement for us if they really wanted to. And the thing about this all that's really, really disturbing is someone mentioned this a while ago, and I wanted to address it. When we talk about international trade and these tariffs, under the first Trump administration, pricing for houses was extremely high. One, because there was a scarcity of houses, and two, because of building material was impacted through tariffs, piggybacking off of steel. We're about to go back into that again. Lumber comes from Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Hey, that's me. And we also have other goods that help building material. Concrete reached a record high in cost under the Trump administration. So if you want to ride on this Trump train of things will be better, your interest rates might drop. I hope they do drop. Please drop. I want to refinance. but the cost of the housing market is going to go up. So I just think that we're not really addressing some of the bigger issues that are going to impact society. And the rhetoric from sorry, I said Kittler. I was not trying to compare you. I really was. About, I'm so sorry, about pulling myself up with my bootstraps and other people pulling. You say that until it impacts you. And I just want to land this plane right here because I have to put this baby to sleep and I have to drop Santana. She's fighting sleep. We have taken all the steps that communist China took, Pol Pot took, and Hitler took. And we are headed for North Korea. Because in North Korea, Kim Jong-il, his generation, his legacy has led people to be suspicious of each other, come after each other, tell on each other, and have a complete loyal deity ideology towards somebody who they see as supreme ruler. Communist China, Pol Pot, and North Korea all got rid of their education system, all got rid of their currency at one point, and then they got rid of election processes. So I just need for people to take a step back and look at some of the bigger threats that is going on. I've been holding all that in for a while, and I have to drop Santana.
Okay, no worries.
I'm so sorry.
Completely wrong. You're completely wrong.
Hold on 1 second, Popcorn.
You don't know me,
Hold on
sir.
1 second, Free. That's fine. Popcorn.
I know you're wrong.
Popcorn.
You don't know me,
Free,
Popcorn.
please. Popcorn, you might be a little bit confused. This is not sparring. This is late nights. This is a panel discussion. We have decorum. We take turns. So please stay on mute until it's actually your turn to speak. Free, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah, he's a little bit of stalking Miss Santana. So
Popcorn and I
okay.
actually debated, and again, that's why I had to say this is different. He was on sparring, which again is different than late nights, and so I don't blame him for coming in like that.
Oh yeah, and I've been on lives with him too. He doesn't know.
Sorry.
Oh my God, Popcorn.
Go ahead and finish what you're saying, Free.
Thank you. I've worked in over 20 government collapsing. 20 government collapses. And I'm just telling you, we really need to be looking at these signs and paying attention to the more critical stuff.
Yep. I completely agree. And I don't know. We'll talk, Free. Anyway, thank you for coming up.
Don't fall for the squirrel.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the squirrel.
You're absolutely right.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night,
Take
Free.
care.
Thank you. All right, Uptown, you wanted to add something.
Yes. I just wanted to go back to when Kiddo was talking about medical expenses, right, and Medicare. I'm somebody that I worked as an EMT in the South Bronx, right, out of Citywide Mobile Response and working out of Bronx Lebanon Hospital. I was a 911 supervisor. And one of the jobs, Kidder, that I had to do every 2 weeks, I had to sit down with the supervisor or the manager from operations, dispatch, risk and safety, and finances to make sure that every job, every patient that is treated, every job gets paid for, right? And the contracts that were prioritized for my company, and we had to make sure we were always showing up and was doing our job, were the VA contracts and the Medicare contracts. Those are the ones that pay us like that right away. And every other insurance company, it's hoops and ladders that you have to go through in order to receive a payment for them, right? So when you talk about Medicare, when you talk about the VA and stuff like that, because all that is all attached in the spending bill, those payments are directly, and they come directly, and they fund private ambulance companies, private hospitals, city hospitals. Now, I can agree with you. When it comes to the cost of medical treatment, it is expensive, right? If you have a patient that needs oxygen, COPD, they need 15 liters of oxygen per minute. We're charging them $4 per every liter, and an ambulance trip that's 15 minutes could cost you $300 or $400. I can agree with you. but that has nothing to do with what we're spending on Medicare. That has to do with the hospital. And Dr. Truth or anybody else who's in the industry can attest to what I'm about to say. Every hospital has something that's called a charge book or a charge master, and that's an imaginary menu that breaks down all the costs for the hospital, and that's something that's between the insurance company and the hospital. So your issue, Kidder, is when you look at private hospitals and city hospitals are not allowed to operate for profit. That's why every month they send their workers out to different seminars, different trainings, and they spend money on like certain parties and stuff. Private hospitals are for profit and they run for profit to make money. That's the issue when it comes to medical expenditures being so high. It's the private hospitals and the private insurance company that are creating these costs, and the doctors that are lining their pockets, because when you have vendors that come in, right, for that selling medical equipment, they specifically target cardiology and the operating room because that makes the most money in the hospital. And they're buying lunch every day for the doctors, for the workers, and for the surgeons so they could buy equipment from those medical companies, right? So all of that has to do with the charge book and the charge master for the hospital, not what we spend on Medicare.
Okay. Kidder, I want to give you an opportunity to respond, and then I want to introduce the new people that are on the panel, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate the information. You know, I learned a lot. But one question for you I have is is it justifiable to you to see like prescription drugs, for instance, maybe cost 15, 20 times more than what it costs in a different country?
Or is that for me, or is that for Uptown
No,
Sport?
either. It's for Uptown Sport.
Okay,
No,
good.
no, I agree with you. No, it shouldn't. But that has to do with the for-profit medical industry that we have. If we had universal health care, we wouldn't be having these problems, Kidder.
Also, I'm sorry. I would just love to say this. I mean, with Trump's EO, he actually pulled the regulations that were placed on being able to negotiate for certain medication, and so you see things like insulin and other prescription drugs skyrocketing in the overall cost. So, like literally, Donald Trump has caused different medication to actually cost more now versus where it was just a couple of weeks ago. But I'm sorry.
Right,
Go ahead.
this is what. Do you think that the entire system is somewhat corrupted? And we do have, you know, for instance, Bernie Sanders and Warren, who also accepted dollars from the pharmaceutical companies.
Kidder, you know how that's broken down, right?
Hold on,
I'm sorry
hold on
to
one second,
interject. Sorry.
Uptown. Yeah, go ahead and let Kidder finish. Go ahead, Kidder.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just wondering, do you think that we have a fundamental issue in general, just with just Medicaid in general, with the corruption and just I feel like it could be much more efficient and much cheaper than what it is. And how do you get to that point if you have Congress who is lobbied by these pharmaceuticals to prevent that from happening?
Uptown.
My apologies. I'm sorry
good.
for
You're good.
Kidder. Say for instance, if me, you, Santana, and everybody that's on this panel, if we work for the EMS company that I work for, if we decided to take our money and donate that to a campaign, it will come in as a campaign from the medical industry. So workers that work in the medical industry as doctors, as CPAs, as PCTs, ACAs, when they donate to a campaign or when they donate to Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, that comes in as a donation from the medical industry, whether it's pharmaceutical people that work in insurance companies, right? They have people that have jobs, secretaries and stuff like that. They donate to political campaigns as well, and that's attached to it, and that comes in, and it looks like it's just the medical industry that's donating to Bernie Sanders, right? But when you break it down, those are small individual workers that are actually donating, not the top wigs that are at the top. I'm sorry again, my fault, Santana.
You're good.
In my opinion, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll let you make one more quick point, but again, I want to actually I want to introduce the new people on the panel because they've been patient as well, and then we still have Patrick, and I'm going to start swapping some other people out as well. But go ahead and you can make one more point.
My point is just in general, I don't know why, unfortunately, in Congress we have any type of lobbying going on. It's just, I feel like it should be against the law, but that is pretty much my point. It's my last point for that.
Okay. Yeah, listen, again, what the funny thing is, and I've said this to you multiple times, I don't think that you and I are far apart on it, because I completely agree, right? I think that money needs to be taken out of politics. I think lobbying is a huge issue on both sides, and until, there's some type of restriction, I don't think there's going to be any politician that's ultimately going to do what's best for the American citizens. So let me just do this real quick, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, guys, our gift goal is a little bubble gum. If we can knock that out, that would be super amazing. Also, I just want to say, what up, Twitch? What up, YouTube? Guys, we are streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Over on the Twitch side, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. You get access to cool emotes as well, and you get access to an amazing Discord. So please, please, please consider subscribing over on the Twitch side. If you're on the YouTube side, make sure you're following my YouTube channel. And anybody who's watching right now, if you're not following the YouTube channel, it's at Santana Speaks, at Santana Speaks. Make sure that you follow the YouTube channel, and make sure that you like the stream as well. So this is what I want to do. Dr. Truth, I'm sorry. I'm going to drop you down, okay? Dr.
Okay,
Truth.
perfect. Thank you so much for the opportunity anyways.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I hate to swap you out like this, but I just saw a good friend of mine that popped in, and he has never actually joined the panel for Late Nights with Santana.
God.
Hey, what's going on, Johnny?
Hello, how are you?
Johnny, what are you doing up?
Eating half a tub of ice cream, taking a couple shots, and sitting here in. So I'm getting ready for the midterm, so I'm moving, and so I did a lot of moving today, and now I'm kind of unwinding, relaxing, and I saw that you were on, and I was like, oh my God, Santana's live, and it's like 1 a.m. How's it going? How you doing?
Good. Johnny, you popcorn, not your turn to speak. Johnny, I don't think you've ever seen, have you ever seen Late Nights with Santana?
No, it's first time. Time.
Okay, so Late Nights with Santana is completely different. It's not debates, right? It's a panel discussion. Everyone gets an opportunity to speak. We have Trump supporters. We have friendlies. Everyone gets an actual opportunity, like to have a dialect, and it's cross communication. It's super interesting, right? And you actually called us. We're in the middle of Mutual Aid Week. This is the first week that I'm doing this, and every third week of the month for my community, I'm doing what's called Mutual Aid Week, where we're picking someone that's either in our Discord or someone who emails my mutual aid email, and we are doing what we can to help support them. This week we have Uptown Sports, who's in the corner, and we're helping his brother trying to escape a really bad situation. His brother and his partner, they're trying to escape a situation in Florida. So all the funds that we raise are going directly towards that mutual aid. So you picked a great week or a great time to actually check it out. So we have Popcorn up here. I'm sure you know Popcorn. We also have Kidder up here, who's a Trump supporter. We're about to introduce everybody else, but we have one person on the line right now. We have a phone line. Patrick, are you still there?
I am still here.
Okay, so Patrick is calling in, and he's watching because Twitch and YouTube is watching right now as well. So we have a whole thing going, Johnny. It's a lot. It's a production.
Wow. Good for you, man. This is cool.
I've been taking notes.
Okay. All right. So let's do this real quick. Let's introduce the other people real quick, and I really want to open it up, and I want to give an opportunity for people to speak, because I definitely also want to hear Johnny's thoughts. Fun fact for anyone that doesn't know. One reason that I started fixating on this proposed budget is because I heard Johnny talking about it. He was the first person that I heard speaking on the proposed budget that the Republicans put up. And once he started talking about it, I had to go find it. And Johnny is one of the main reasons why we're running this topic this week about the actual budget. So W's in the chat for Johnny.
Oh, shucks. That's a blessing to hear. I'm grateful that you're focusing on it, because too many folks are discussing, whether it be foreign policy or whatever the case be, a social issue. But this is something that I've spoken to enough farmers this week, enough first-time mothers this week to understand that it's directly impacting them. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful that you're discussing this. Thank you for doing so.
Absolutely. All right, let's introduce real quick. Do some. Are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the proposed 2025 budget?
Trump supporter? No. No, far from it.
Okay.
As far as the budget, not really looked into it, but I've been kind of keeping my ears to the street about it, because overall, I own a business that works in the field where we have to use Medicaid. We help people out with Medicaid. So if that gets cut, my business is shut, basically.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna stop right there because I know you want to talk to the other people, but I still have other things to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back around to you, my friend. We're just hitting the introduction. Perfect. Let's go to popcorn. Popcorn. I already know, but for everyone else that's listening and watching, are you a Trump supporter? And have you had an opportunity to look at the proposed 2025 budget?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter, and I started dabbling into it, but I'm going to wait until it's passed, and just to let Johnny know, the budget has not been passed yet. It's still it's the blueprint. So
I'm sorry, I have no idea who this is. Why does he keep invoking my name? Are you good?
Yeah, Johnny. He has. Hold on 1 second, popcorn. Hold on 1 second, popcorn.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Johnny,
this was 2 days ago. I'll pull up the video.
What an odd thing to continue thinking about me 2 days after we spoke. But okay.
When you spread misinformation.
Okay, hold on 1 second, popcorn.
So I can assure you, the words that budget passed never came out of my mouth. As far as the budget being out of committee, that would have came out of my mouth. The budget is out of committee, which means it passed committee. Listen, it's okay if you misunderstood something. Sometimes processing isn't easy, and it doesn't come easy to everybody.
No, I try to correct.
Okay, hold on, popcorn. Hold on. Again, just to clear this up, right? And I wasn't there when Johnny and Popcorn had the conversation, but I do watch Johnny's live a lot. And again, one of the reasons why I'm running this topic is because I've heard Johnny speak on it so many times, and I have never, ever, and this is just me, never, ever heard him say that it is passed. So maybe one of the many times that I haven't watched, which I watch Johnny every day, maybe he snuck it in, but I have never heard Johnny say that.
I actually was there during the live because I watched Johnny all the time as well. And I was there when Popcorn was there. And Popcorn, I can assure you, Johnny never said that this is the budget he never said it has passed. What he has said is that here's what is in the budget, XYZ, and because the Republicans have the majority in the House
he said that a
and
million
the Senate,
times.
this is likely to pass.
He has said that a million times.
And I can also assure you that he didn't say that, but what I can assure you he did do is spit you out.
Okay, perfect.
AJ,
Everybody
Jordan,
else back on
appreciate
mute
it.
for
Thank
me,
you both so much. What I will say,
set in stone, that's all.
hold on. What I will say is, Popcorn is claiming I said it passed. Those words never came out. Period. Hold on. Yes, it is set in stone.
Popcorn,
it is.
Hold on 1 second, Johnny.
I'm saying that
Popcorn,
now.
I'm telling you, if you can't stay on Popcorn, if you can't stay on mute, I will drop you. I'm serious. Please stay on mute.
Right.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Right. So here's the discrepancy, and what Popcorn just did was disinforming people. It
Like
didn't
you.
pass, and I never said it. I never said it passed. But you just said that I claimed that it was set in stone. It is set in stone, but it didn't pass. I never said it passed. I did say it's set in stone. It is. That is accurate. I have spent enough time in the Senate and the House to understand how a policy works. There are no Democrats in either chamber. The policy as it is will not be further negotiated. The policy you see is how it will stand and how it will pass. You said that I said it passed. I never said that. I did say it's set in stone. It is. It's not changing.
Yeah. Johnny, like I said, I've heard you a million times talk about it. We know. Okay. Ty, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review this proposed 2025 budget?
So, I am not a Trump supporter, and I have not reviewed the budget at this time. I'm actually looking at it now on my computer while I'm at work, working and kind of multitasking and looking through this. So, no, I have not reviewed that.
Okay, no worries. All right, let me say this real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Gene. Gene sent a $1 donation towards the Mutual Aid Week Fund to say apparently not all popcorn kernels have fully popped. You are absolutely right. Thank you for that donation, Gene. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, Santana Speaks 24 each and every dollar that you donate here on Late Nights with Santana for these 3 nights will be directly donated to the mutual aid that we are raising for Mutual Aid Week. So if you have the opportunity, if you have any extra funds, if you can, please consider donating. Again, this week we are raising money for Uptown Sports Brother to help escape from a horrible situation in Florida. This week it's Uptown Sports Brother. You never know, it might be you in the future. So if you can help out, please, please, please consider helping out. This is what I want to do. Patrick, are you still there? Patrick, are you still there? It might take.
Yes,
Patrick.
I'm still here.
Okay, Patrick. So I wanted to give you. Listen, I have my good friend Johnny up here, right? Johnny is a very, very smart guy. And I would love for you to actually have an opportunity to speak to Johnny, right? And so Johnny, just to give you a little bit of background on Patrick. Patrick is he's a Trump supporter. Patrick, you're 59, right? Is it 59 or 57?
56.
56.
Not a big difference.
56. He is a Trump supporter. He is a gay man. He said that he feels like the Republican Party overall has been way more welcoming and less hateful than the Democratic Party, especially because he is a gay man. And he's a staunch conservative. And overall, he's happy with where we are as with the Trump administration.
Oh.
I do have one question before we go on.
Up?
Who's Johnny? She said, smiled in her. Sorry, I had to do it. Hi, Johnny.
No, that's okay. You know what? Fair enough.
Okay. I will give you guys the floor.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi. So tell me a little bit more about why you
Hello?
stand with Donald Trump.
Johnny, Patrick, can you hear Johnny?
I cannot hear Johnny.
Uh-oh.
Johnny, can you say something again?
Hi, I'm Johnny. I had half a tub of Ben and Jerry's today.
Hang on, let me try something.
Oh, great. So I told him I had half a tub of Ben and Jerry's for nothing.
Sorry.
He was just able to hear everyone. So, real quick, guys.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
Now,
I'm listening. Hang on. Sorry.
I mean, well, listen. If nobody can hear me, then I'm just going to say all my secrets. I actually had
Santana,
2
what
tubs
is your
of Ben and Jerry's.
Is it Santana 24J?
It's at Santana Speaks. At Santana Speaks. Do this, if you could, real quick. Just hang up and call right back. It might be something with your line because
okay.
you can
All right,
hear.
I'll call you right back.
Again,
Okay.
don't say your full name, just your first name, Patrick.
I know, I suck. I've been dealing with Social Security Administration for like weeks, so it's just habit. All right, I'll call you right back.
Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. W's in the chat for Corey. Corey sent a $3 donation towards mutual aid to say, did Popcorn say that he's going to wait until it passed to read it, but wants to be in the discussion defining it? Listen, we know for a fact that they didn't Google what a tariff was until after they voted. What makes you think that they're going to read a bill before it's passed? Come on, Corey. W's in the chat for Corey. Let's do this real quick, Kidder. While we're waiting on Patrick to call back in, I would like to give you the floor for a moment to actually, speak on anything that you may have as the lone survivor on the panel at the moment.
I mean, it's absolutely it's amazing that I'm the last one. I can't believe it. But at the end of the day, I think Trump is going to put his citizens first. Yes, I understand that we have tariff wars between Canada and Mexico, but we are the largest economy on the globe. They need us more than we need them. He wants to bring back manufacturing back home, which will increase employment for all of us. He's going to lower our taxes. He's going to lower our energy prices, but all this is going to take some time. I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable about Elon Musk, but Elon Musk is a brilliant mind. And why not have him work on your team?
Oh, okay.
I would love to push back on that.
Yeah, hold on for a second, guys.
Call from
Patrick.
All right, Patrick, are you back?
I am back. Hello. Thank you.
All right, Johnny, you want to see if he can hear you now?
Hello, it's me, Johnny. Hi. I like dogs, and I like ice cream, and
I don't hear anything.
Oh.
Okay. All right, Patrick. Well, I'm gonna drop you out. I think that's just a you issue, my friend. So we're gonna call it for tonight. I apologize.
Very good. No, all good. And thank you for the opportunity. And I hope we get to chat again sometime.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're gonna figure it out. Thank you so much.
All right. And Johnny, I can't wait to meet you.
He seems lovely. That's unfortunate.
Bye.
It's not working. He seems lovely.
Yeah, he's interesting. He told us there was no white privilege. He told us that he told us that the left was hateful. He said a lot. He said a lot, Johnny. He said
one thing about
Yep,
the
just lovely.
Yeah.
One thing.
Just lovely. Kidder, so you had voted for Donald Trump, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So I guess the question for you, you mentioned job growth in regards to Donald Trump's actions, and something that gets to me is folks will often talk about tariffs in regards to Donald Trump and manufacturing and how he's going to create jobs and historic growth. And listen, I'll give Donald Trump credit where credit's due. Without counting pandemic jobs lost, Donald Trump's monthly average was 178,000 jobs per month. That is really good. But Joe Biden, through the infrastructure package, the CHIPS and Science Act, created double that. 400,000 jobs per month, not incorporating tariffs, rather just through policy, which is even further better.
Can I counter real quick or no?
Well, so yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you to do here. Why would you endorse Donald Trump's policies in regards to job growth when Joe Biden pursued policies like the infrastructure package that created double the amount of jobs?
I think the numbers are somewhat distorted because you're forgetting the key element of Biden's job growth. It was C-19. It's not.
Oh no, wait. Sorry, I should have clarified.
There's a lot of jobs lost.
I'm not including pandemic jobs. I'm only including jobs interpreted by the infrastructure package and the CHIPS and Science Act. If I incorporate pandemic jobs, Donald Trump's number drops to negative 30,000 per month instead of 178 positive. And Joe Biden's number jumps from 400 to 800,000 per month. So I'm not doing that. So it would be 800,000 versus negative 30,000. I'm giving you 400,000 versus 178,000 per month. I'm not including pandemic jobs. I don't include the pandemic. I don't. To be clear, I don't. No. It's not. I'm not including pandemic jobs. We know exactly what numbers are from the pandemic. We know exactly what numbers were, for example, full-time union jobs in construction, electrical. Those are not pandemic jobs. So there is a discrepancy here. But again, I didn't incorporate pandemic jobs.
Yeah. Hey, Kidder.
But do you see who
Kidder,
is hired at
hey,
DLA?
Kidder, in the
they're not really accurate. Might not even be accurate.
Kidder, in the business, we call that a gotcha.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, the lady who runs it, if you look into like how these numbers are calculated, it's not the correct numbers.
No, actually it is. And I know Nancy very well. I've worked with the Department of Labor and Industry enough to understand the policy. So thank you for trying to correct that. But I know the secretary very well. That being said, again, my question to you wasn't about the discrepancy between the numbers. I know what the numbers are. I don't need you. Listen, again, we can
hold on, Kidder. Hold on.
We can go back and forth. I'm not asking you to correct me on the numbers. I don't need that. That's ridiculous. I know what the numbers are. Again, it would be 800 versus negative 30,000. I'm not doing that because I'm not including pandemic jobs. So it's 400 versus 178,000. I'm asking you, why would you endorse Donald Trump's policies when President Biden's policies have been proven to be more effective?
But Trump, at his first time he was president, honestly was extremely ridiculed, was gridlocked in Congress and the House, etc. Couldn't really pass what he wanted to do. I think this time he has a clear opportunity to capitalize on having full control. And I think American people are just impatient and are not willing to wait for the results. There's no way you can tell me that in a couple of weeks you're going to see changes. It's going to take some time.
I mean, we're a month in and there haven't been any changes. But that being said, the first month of a president's administration is supposed to be both the most impactful and efficient. If you're not seeing something take place in the first month, it's not happening. Furthermore, Donald Trump has the House and the Senate right now. Most presidents don't have that luxury. Take Obama, for example, Joe Biden, for example. They had divided legislatures. They didn't have the luxury of having both chambers. Donald Trump has both. If he's not doing something right now, it's because he doesn't want to. But that being said, again, what you just did there was a concession. You effectively said that you felt Donald Trump's first term was weak. Even though he had the House and the Senate, I mean, we remember Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. He had the House and the Senate. You're saying it was weak, and that's why he had half the amount of jobs as Joe Biden. Joe Biden had a divided legislature and still accomplished double the amount of jobs. That should be telling.
Well, imagine. I don't know. I'll give you the victory, Johnny. I will
No,
now.
you're good. Listen, to be clear, I'm not trying to be
No,
clear.
I
I'm not trying
get
to
it.
do a gotcha or something. I'm just, going through the numbers.
Yeah. I just feel. I think it's just. I feel like it's unfair for him. Just we need to give it more time. Let's see what happens. You say a month. A month is not. How is a month enough time? It's not. It's the first month of a 4-year presidency.
But it's a month. So in the first month of every president, they're going to accomplish their most impactful policies. If they don't get it done in the first month, the odds of it being accomplished statistically drops by 87.7%. To the point where they don't accomplish it. Furthermore,
I'm getting absolutely cooked right now.
no, I'm not trying to cook you. I promise. I'm not trying to cook you.
Oh my God, Kidder,
I'm sorry.
No, you are getting clipped. You should not have said that. You're getting clipped.
I'm not trying to cook you. I just think that transparency is important.
You guys seen Drake on stage with the bullet hole shirt with the smoke coming out? That's me right now.
I'm not trying to. That's all of this is in good faith. I mean it, and I again, like if Donald Trump's not getting it in the first month, the odds of him doing it drop significantly. But in part, it's also important to understand that he could accomplish anything he wants right now because it's the House and the Senate. And again, that's something that too many presidents don't have. The fact that he has the House and the Senate and he's still not doing something, there's a reason for that. It's because he doesn't want to do it.
Okay. I learned a lot, Johnny. Appreciate it, man. Hey, you got it. When you take your L's, you take it gracefully, people. That's what you do. Okay?
That's fair. That's fair. Listen, I'm telling you again, I have a lot of social media friends, people that I enjoy certain people, but one of the people that I enjoy the most is Johnny, and yeah, I am familiar with his game, so yeah, we have that. Real quick, we have Flask 92 on the panel. Flask 92, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the 2025 budget or the proposed 2025 budget?
It's Flack.
Flack, I'm sorry.
No, I can't seem to find a doc for it.
Okay, and are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. I'll put it on the screen, a direct link where you can actually find that information. So give me just a moment. Jason, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the proposed 2025 budget?
I'm not a Trump supporter, man. I'm one of your team members.
I know. I still have to ask the question.
No, I mean, honestly, Johnny is spitting facts, and I love it because, numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, both Barack Obama and Joe Biden both had, divided legislatures, and they still got more done. And we already seen 4 years of Trump, and we've seen the last month with Trump has been a nightmare, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, even Kayleigh Mack, what's his press secretary's name? I forget, but she put out that the no tips on
no tax on tips. No tax on tips. It's not in this proposal.
It's not in the bill. Anybody that reads the bill, it's not in there.
No, absolutely.
I'm still looking for the bill.
Well,
I've heard people make claims about it. I haven't been able to read it.
Sure. If you take a look at the screen, you can actually find it here. It is at cbo.gov. This is the actual publication. I don't know if you can see the specific complete address, but you can actually go to cbpo.gov. And it gives the breakdown of the proposed budget. You can look through the different factors. And one thing that I really love about this is it has spin-off articles that talk to some of the specific cuts, where it would actually be cut from the budget and what type of impacts it will have, the different breakdowns. But to be able to view this entire budget, you can actually go here and find the information. All right. So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot just for a moment, Flat, because I know you haven't had an opportunity to actually digest it yet, but hopefully you have at least heard a little bit about it and can speak to some of the things. I guess the biggest question that I would have, right, is there are proposed cuts, specifically one of the largest ones that sticks out is the $880 billion proposal cut to Medicaid, and then also the $230 billion proposed cuts to SNAP. What are your thoughts around, even without being able to verify the exact number? What are your thoughts to cutting those type of those much needed services for many Americans, whether it's Medicaid or SNAP benefits?
Well, I thought that 88 around 88 that number right there, 800 billion. That I thought that was the total budget for Medicaid.
Correct.
So they're going to cut Medicaid completely. It's gone.
Correct.
All right. Can you please show me in the bill where it says that?
Yeah, I will get to it here. Give me 1 second. This is SNAP benefits. I actually have the article up.
Where'd you say that website was? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. It's CBP. I'm sorry, CBO.gov. Was I saying CBPO? CBO.gov.
Yeah, because I kept putting it in. And I was like,
yeah,
nothing's coming up, but I got it right here.
Sometimes I mess up. Give me a second here.
You good?
This one is SNAP. This is
my friend. I got to drop down. Thank you so much
no
for
worries,
letting me
Johnny.
up, though. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Johnny. Guys, W's in the chat for Johnny. Johnny,
Talk to
thank
y'all
you
later.
for coming up. You are awesome. Let's see here.
Man, why you gotta bring them up here like that, man?
Let me make this a little bit smaller. While I am finding the specific, because I didn't have that one up, while I'm finding the specific area in the proposal to speak to the proposed budgets for Medicaid, Ty, I want to give you the floor to actually add whatever you want to speak on.
Thank you. So, as we speak about like what Trump is doing and what he has accomplished, what he has done is really starting to show that it will hurt the American people. I don't remember the exact name of the executive order, but he did sign an executive order which actually took funding from Alabama. And in that funding, we see that people in Alabama were receiving letters stating that their light bill was going to go up $100. In addition to that, going up $100 because they're not receiving this funding to subsidize their electricity costs, they're also being debited for past instances where they have received that credit. They're saying that this might happen in Georgia as well. And on top of that, one of the things with him trying to defund education, we also see that the governor of Alabama is going to fight for her state now after, kind of going with what he was saying, because if he defunds the schools, it's going to take over $418 million out of her university, the University of Alabama, per year, which is going to decimate their job market. And then in turn, it's going to decimate the economy in that area, because then those people will not have that funding going in and basically for, what's the word I'm looking for, their employment, because they're going to have to cut the employment, which means that area, they're not going to have the money to spend in the economy. So in a lot of ways, we're already seeing what Trump has done. It's going to hurt the economy more than it's going to give a boost to the economy.
Absolutely. Dim Sum, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Sorry, I was on mute.
No worries.
Well, I got a couple of points, if that's okay.
Sure, go right ahead.
All right, so first one is I gotta throw it out to my girl out there, Jasmine Crockett. So Doge is putting out where basically Jasmine Crockett has a reported net worth of $9 million, and saying that she's supposedly getting paid $174,000 a year. So where's the money coming from? With 2 houses in Dallas, $2.5 million house in Dallas. Sorry,
1 second.
1.5 million.
I'm sorry. Just FYI, Flack.
Yeah.
While he's finishing his point, it's listed under the technical changes. So we'll talk about that in just a few moments. I want to let him finish saying what he's saying. But if you want to go and look under the portion with the technical changes, the actual changes in the layout, it looks at the different breakdowns as far as the adjustments to Medicaid. But we'll talk about it in just a moment. I'm sorry, Dim Sum. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, okay. So $1.5 million loft in Texas and another 1.5 lakefront in Galveston. So I'm saying that to say all this has been fact checked. She does not own any of these properties. She is not worth $9 million. I even went to Forbes and looked for myself. It's estimated about $45,000 or whatnot, basically her overall net worth. So it's a lot of, how can I say, rhetoric that Doge is spewing out to make it seem like, and Jasmine was at the bottom of the list, but a lot of people that are Democrats in Congress, they're saying that these people are taking all these cutbacks from said companies, so on and so forth. But when you look at each one of them, and I probably looked about 10 of them myself, all have been fact checked to be lies that Doge is spitting out. So I want to say that right there, just to throw that out there. Aside from that right there, as far as a lot of things that Trump has done, there's jobs being taken away from the American people or whatnot. Two of them in particular is there is a factory that makes straws. So due to his straw law, which aside from almost everything else, that's the only thing that wasn't in 2025. But aside from the straw laws, those people who were working at straw factories and lost their job, now we have another one in Greenville, Tennessee for the penny factory. Hold on, let me finish, and you can have it.
It was an echo.
But,
no, it was an echo. You're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but over in Greenville, Tennessee, I believe it is, there's a penny factory. And not just the people that work at the penny factory in Tennessee, but that whole community relied on that in particular factory for economic growth within that community. Red State, may I add, Red County, may I add, that those jobs are all gone. Aside from that right there, like I said, I have a company where if Medicaid gets cut, I need to figure it out because I'm gonna have to try and figure out how I can get on that $230 billion in SNAP that's gonna be taken away because I might need it. So I don't know what I would do, but I'm gonna land my plane with that right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing that I do want to speak to real quick, because you said something that actually caught my attention, more so speaking to Doge and the overall cuts that they had and what it looks like as far as the breakdown. So there's been some quote-unquote findings by Doge, and the one interesting thing that, because they're finally actually posting receipts, it's interesting how they're posting information while being misleading, right? And what I'm speaking to specifically, let me grab this real quick, because what I'm speaking to specifically is they posted that they were able to cut $8 billion, and the $8 billion was for a contracted office agency by the name of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, right? And the office name, investigation, and operation supported by Dallas. So this was for immigration in Dallas. They said they cut $8 billion, and they posted this on the site and then actually put on the site and on the actual quote-unquote receipt that it was $8 billion that they saved. Well, the thing about the receipt that they actually posted as well, it's a specific ledger breakdown that shows the actual information, like they pulled it directly from the system. And if you take a look up in the corner, it talks about the amounts, and the amount that was actually allocated was not $8 billion, it was $8 million. So that's something that I definitely have a problem with, as far as it's very misleading. I'm not saying that they aren't, quote unquote, cutting some types of funds or finding certain things. But with that being said, the information that they're actually giving is not accurate. And then you kind of couple that with the fact that Elon Musk is apparently not the head of Doge, which he was the head of Doge, and now he's not. I don't know. That's a very, very interesting situation.
Yeah, I've been hearing all those facts too. It's a lot, especially even with a lot of their rhetoric that they're spewing out is, believe it or not, on the X page. It's not nowhere others. It's nowhere else. It's they're throwing it on the X page or whatever. Like X is law. Like X is basically. Well, first of all, why are you spewing all this information on X? Shouldn't it be on some government website? But it's all on X, which is where it gets me at, and it's like everybody's going to X to make it seem like, oh well, he said it on X, so it got to be right. Hey, and then I forgot about this right here. He also spit out there that basically you can no longer say anything negative about Trump on X, or you will be suspended.
I did not see that. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Let me see if I can find it, and I'm landing my plane with that though.
Okay. Perfect. Moonstruck, how are you? Moonstruck, are you there? Moonstruck, I just sent you a request to come off mute. Guys, W's in the chat for Courtney. Courtney sent $1 donation to say, not only that, Santana, they actually went back and skewed the data. They went in and changed it to 8 billion. Holy smokes. Again, that's not something that I would put above Elon Musk at all. But guys, W's in the chat for Courtney. Thank you so much for that dollar donation, Courtney. You are amazing. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please, not support the live. Please consider donating. Guys, we are doing mutual aid week this week. So each and every dollar that you donate will be donated directly to mutual aid. And guys, well, Uptown, to do it justice, can you tell the people what we are doing with the mutual aid for this week?
Yes. Again, it's for my brother, for him and his partner. They're two trans men, disabled, who are trying to escape what's going on in Florida right now. So every dollar helps them trying to make their trip from Florida. They are traveling also with a senior dog who can't travel on the plane. That's why they have to drive out of Florida. So any dollar helps. Just a little bit. We all know the hurricanes happened in Florida. My brother and his partner, their apartment got destroyed because of the hurricanes, the mold, the humidity. His partner was also a victim of a hate crime in Florida for being a trans man, seeking services from the hospital. He was denied services for being trans. They just wanted me to share that with you guys because that literally happened over the past couple of weeks. Again, Santana, appreciate the entire community. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate you for
Hey,
giving that information. Yes.
Hey, did you hear about him spreading the lies? Elon spreading the lies about 150-year-olds receiving benefits.
Yeah, we know that as well. We also know that the actual Social Security system has a mechanism in place where if anyone is registered to be over 112 years old, that the actual person is automatically removed. Yeah, so we know for a fact that is not true. We know that's not.
It was
true.
It's the COBOL coding system that they use, the old system.
I mean, the coding is a thing as well. But yeah, like there's a mechanism that ensures that people aren't able to actually receive those benefits. So. Also, guys, Debbie's in the chat for Katie. Katie sent a $10 donation for the mutual aid to say goes towards Uptown's brother. Thank you so much for that $10 donation, Katie. You are so kind. Thank you for actually adding into the mutual aid. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. All right, so I want to come back. Flack, I want to give you an opportunity. I don't know if you had a chance to look over the different breakdowns in the layout as far as where they are cutting the expenses that roll up under Medicaid. I don't know if you want to speak on that or if you wanted to take it in another direction.
I wanted to see it because I hear people say it, and they say it, and they say it, but I ask them to bring it up, and nobody ever brings it up. They'll bring up articles about people saying it, but they won't actually bring up where it says it at.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. And again, that's why I wanted to spend time on this and actually share it. And also, I want to make sure that I am being transparent when I say this is not passed yet, right? This is just the proposal. Is there always an opportunity for some type of negotiation, changes, blah, blah, blah? Yes. Yes, there absolutely is. But I will say that, with the fact that the Republican Party has the House, the Senate, and the presidency, there's nothing stopping them from being able to pass this proposed bill or budget except for themselves. So there's that.
Right.
But there's a lot to actually digest in there. But Flash, I guess I'll give you the floor. And I'm sorry, guys. W's in the chat for D. D sent a $5 donation towards a mutual aid. D, you are absolutely insane. Thank you for that donation. Thank you. What would you like to speak on, Flack?
I think that I think that every time they come out and say we're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse, which there's waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. There's waste, fraud, and abuse in Social Security. There's waste, fraud, and abuse all across these agencies. But when they say we're looking at the waste, fraud, and abuse in Social Security, that the left left seems to go directly to they're going to cut your Social Security benefits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they come out, they say, hey, we're going to look for this waste. And, the waste has been reported for years, hundreds of millions of dollars annually, and then they say, well, we're going to look for it. And then the left says they're going to take away the SSI. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, listen, and I think the thing that we can agree on, and this is where I've been this entire time, when it comes to eliminating waste, there is definitely a need to eliminate waste within the federal government as a whole. But I think the difference is where they actually target said wasteful spending, right? I'll do this. Ty, I'm gonna lean on you for a second because Ty, I know how you get down. Question for you, Ty. Do you think that there is a need for an entity like Doge?
Well, basically, America already has a entity that is like Doge.
And you don't say, Ty.
It's the ASO. Give me 1 second to pull it up. I actually don't remember what the acronym stands for. I am learning stuff, just trying to learn stuff just as quickly as it's coming out. But we have those entities in place. It's a nonpartisan group that does go through and look at governmental spending. While I do think that there may need to be more aggressive cuts, at the same time, GAO, thank you. Yes, although there may need to be more aggressive cuts, I think that the problem is we allow rich people to tell us that our giving to each other is going to be the issue, and if we cut there, we're going to save money. But our problem is our giving to these corporate entities. How we allow them to, one, take funds from the public and from our government as we pay these taxes. So a lot of these entities, and I brought this up last time I was here, say in the pharmaceutical industry, we pay taxes. Those tax dollars are used for them to get the funding to get the research done, so that a way they can build out expensive medications that they then privatize and sell back to us. We've already paid for it, but then again, we're double taxed on that because we're then paying hundreds of dollars for it, and we already gave our taxes for it to be researched. So in a way, we're not going to save money by taking money from us. We have to reallocate what we've been giving to the millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
Well, if I could respond.
Sure, go right ahead.
I agree with you. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies has been an issue, and I think I see that Donald Trump. I've seen things say that Elon Musk's next stop is the IRS, then it's the Pentagon. So I think there is a plan to get to these places where there is more wasteful spending. But most of the targets are overseas. We have overreached overseas. It's like we elect people, and once they get up there, they want to play on the world stage instead of actually here in the United States. But I think that the government, the agencies that we've had are apparently okay with a lot of the wasteful spending that's been going on. You know, we've had these agencies for years, yet we're still sending millions and millions overseas for God knows what. You know, some of these things that they say are just ridiculous. You know, so
So I think when we talk about foreign spending, we also have to take into account that in that foreign spending, it's also already placed into the military budget. So when we look at the military budget, we would have to say that those things come from there. Now, while I do think we have an expansive budget there, the problem is we have this idea that if you don't spend it, you lose it. So America, as we have to take a new approach if we want to really save that money. A lot of times the military budget is blown at the end of the year because they're like, if we don't spend this money, they're going to say, hey, we can take a reduction. You, we had a report come out years ago that they were spending hundreds of dollars on toilet seats and this and that. What we have to do is then redefine what that budget looks like for the military. I'm not saying that they don't need new trucks. I'm not saying that they're not going to need the parts. They're not going to need, the money for people's employment for being in the military. But again, those things need to be looked at because one of the top things that we spend on is the military budget. And if we could, one, take from that, hey, you don't need to buy new trucks this year. You just bought new trucks last year. Let them last at least 3 years. Just get new tires, new parts. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Those are the
more
things that
convinced.
we have an issue with.
I'm more convinced that Doge will look into that more than any other agency has in the past.
I don't
What?
think
Wait,
so.
wait,
I
wait.
think
Hold on,
that
hold on. What convinced you that that's true?
Just the rhetoric behind it, like it is the main topic, like in politics right now, is Doge and what they're doing. You feel what I'm saying? And then
Even though that it's like it's being proven that there's no real transparency, they're lying, and also now they're like deflecting who's actually in charge. You still believe that?
well, a lot of the things that he said that we spent money on have been fact checked, and we did spend money on it, and it was ridiculous. And there was things that were false that he also put out. So I mean, it's on both ends. There were things that we spent money on that we probably shouldn't have.
Can I say something to Flack on this? Because
Yeah,
I'm prior military.
yeah.
Uh,
One second. Let me just read these off real quick, and then I'm gonna let you guys pass it around for sure. For sure. It's just that these are piling up, and I want to read them off real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Stephanie, who sent a $10 donation towards the mutual aid. Thank you so much, Stephanie. You are awesome. W's in the chat for
hey, I
Channing.
was in here. Hey, I was in here earlier, and there was no one here. Oh, sorry.
W's in the chat for Channing, who sent a $10 donation saying for Uptown's brother. Thank you so much for that $10 donation, Channing. W's in the chat for Michael, who sent a $20 donation for mutual aid. Thank you so much for that donation, Michael. W's in the chat for Jennifer, who sent a $25 donation for mutual aid and said also, I did not realize that you're also in Washington State. Stay safe. Absolutely. I am in the Pacific Northwest. And also, guys, W's in the chat for Sonia, who sent a $1 donation saying, in March of 2015, PBS reported on fraud in SS. The Social Security Fraud Prevention Act passed in 2017. This made it illegal for SSNs to be sent by mail. There's a quarterly audit and report for the public available on their site. You are absolutely right about that. Thank you so much for that information and for that donation, Sonia. You are absolutely great. Guys, again, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to help support mutual aid. I'm going to say this one more time, guys. This week is mutual aid week. We are actually collecting mutual aid for Uptown's brother, who is trying to escape a really bad situation in Florida. Him and his partner are trying to actually escape a situation in Florida. And every third week of the month, here we are going to be doing mutual aid week. What is mutual aid week? It's a week where we pick someone that's either someone. We have a mutual aid channel in our Discord. So first and foremost, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. You get access to a fast pass to get on the panel. You get access to some really cool emotes, but you also get access to our amazing Discord, where there's a lot of community, a ton of resources. But also, if you need assistance with mutual aid, you can put in the mutual aid channel, where we will try to see what we can do to help. with the mutual aid situations. But if you can't afford a subscription, I understand not everyone can afford it, but if you can't afford a subscription, I do have a link on my page that you can actually send an email to the mutual aid email, where if you send your information over, it will be vetted and reviewed, and you will be considered as far as one of those people. You will be taken into consideration for the mutual aid week. Again, we will be doing mutual aid week every third week of the month to help out people in and outside of our community. So if you have an opportunity to donate, please consider donating, because this week it is about Uptown Sports Brother, but in the future it might be about you. We all need help sometime. Jason, I want to give you the floor.
All right. I just wanted to go over something, because being in the military like I was, and I was a technician, so I had to work on equipment and order equipment through the military system. There is a lot of bloated stuff in there. Like we're underway. Ship went dead in the water because one of our main CPUs that does sonar prediction going down depth. So we know how much depth there is. So we're treading through narrow water and stuff. So that same thing I could find on at the time. I showed my chief. I said, look, I can get this node here faster through the mail and cheaper for $100, but I had to order the one through the military because it has a mil spec number on it, and it cost $50,853, and it went out 2 weeks after we got that new one in. So we spent over $100,000 right there, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff in the military and stuff, and that's because of these no bid contracts like Elon Musk has with the U.S. government. And he is a government contractor, whether you realize it or not. And so a lot of his stuff, like him going after the IGs being taken out and stuff, were going after him for some of his violations as a contractor for our budgets and stuff. So when you think about things, you got to put things in perspective. Yes, the military budget is bloated, but it's bloated for a reason, because there's politicians that are up there right now that do take kickbacks from these companies to get these no bid contracts, right? They block bids from other companies. And so that is a problem, but they're not going to, I guarantee you, they're not going to go after him like you think they are, because Elon's one of them. Okay. And that's the thing, you got to say, you got to look at the truth behind things. There is a lot of bloat in the budget, though, in the military budget. I will tell you that, because I had a thermostat for one of my units. It was just copper wire spun in a thing with a little spring on it, and it was $6,000. Probably like $8 to $10 worth of parts, and it's $6,000. And that stuff happens a lot. So there is a lot of bloat, but in places like Medicaid and stuff like that, it's more like, I feel like it's meant to try to own the libs kind of thing and stuff like that, but they don't realize that they're hurting their own people more. Like the SNAP benefits. Who do you think takes more SNAP benefits? There's a lot of poor white folks in the South that take these SNAP benefits, and they're going to be affected directly, and they don't realize it, and they use them as pawns. And it's so sad, man, because it's not right. It's not right for American people to be sitting there paying all this money in taxes for that kind of stuff, and then they vote for a guy, and then he immediately does a 180 on them. So that's just my spiel, and so the Pentagon, it's not just the Pentagon that's a problem. Like I said, the budget itself, it's the no bid contracts, it's the defense contractors, right? And like I said, Elon's one of them. So
yeah.
Yes, I'd like to say something.
I was just about to say real quick, because DP has not had an opportunity to speak. DP, real quick, are you a Trump supporter, and have you had an opportunity to review the proposed 2025 budget?
I have had an opportunity to review some of it, and no, I am not a Trump supporter.
Okay.
But what I'd like to comment is more of just a nonpartisan situation about everything that's going on. The biggest thing that I see that I'm finding no one is really focusing on is the punching down. All the cuts and all the this and the firing are taking away from the least of these, the people that don't have as much. Like you said, the the civil people that are working there, and employees. They're not firing bosses and managers and they're not getting rid of the people where most of the spend and most of the money is going, or the people responsible for making those decisions about all of that spending. They're not getting rid of CEOs and cutting their bonuses and things like that. They're firing employees that have been that have been working for the government for years and years and years, or asking people to resign. Why punch down, like you said, getting rid of SNAP benefits? That only hurts people receiving SNAP benefits, which is none of the people saying that we want to cut them. Why could get rid of, or try to say, well, we want to get rid of we want to cut Medicaid and Medicare. Why do those things? They're not hurting them in any way. It only hurts people that voted for them, their constituents. The punching down of, and then to assert and try to get people to believe that that's wasteful, that taking care of people who actually keep the lights on and sweep the floors and grease the wheels, that they are wasteful spending, where the excess and the bloat, as the other gentleman so eloquently put it, is not at the bottom, it's at the top. Where the government contracts and all the money is going is to the Elon Musks and things like that. They're not going to cut his money. He just got another $300 million contract. How do you get a $300 million contract and at the same time say, well, I'm going to cut excess spending over here while you're still the one getting the biggest piece of the pie? It's so twisted and corrupted, the whole idea, and the fact that people don't see that, or don't seem to see that that's clearly what's happening. It's really sad to me that that's how we've gotten here. And it's more like, just make people believe that this was so wasteful, we're so wasteful, and we've got to take away from the least of these. Why none of them, not one of them, is saying, hey, here, take my salary. Here, we're going to cut the bonuses. Hey, we're going to make sure that everybody's salary stays capped at $175,000 for the next 5 years. We're not going to take pay increases. You're not hearing any of that. Yeah. They want to cut it from everyone else. And that's the part that's really sad to me. I'm like, nobody's saying the obvious. They're not taking it away from the people who have everything. That could give it, that could cut it and not even really feel any pain.
Right.
That's
you're
the
you're absolutely right. And I have to jump in and say this, right?
Sure.
The one thing that this Trump administration, this iteration of MAGA has done is turn certain Republicans around, right? It's super interesting. And so now I find myself agreeing with certain Republicans, and some Republicans I could never imagine agreeing with. Hell, I'm sorry, I agreed with Steve Bannon today, and that made me sick to my stomach. But
me too.
Right? But I now follow Adam Kissinger on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And he said, he put out a video and he was tweeting about it, and I was like, holy smokes. But he made the point, he said, well, with these people, the people in Congress that are so good with these cuts and so good with people losing jobs and all this other stuff, then what they should do is actually cap their pay. And then they should also fire 2 people from their staff. He's like, they have 18 people that's available with their staff. They should fire 2 people from their staff. They should cap their pay. They should reduce their overall spending budget for what they have for their office. And then, but he's like, they're not going to do that. They're not, and they're also not going to care unless it actually affects them. And it's exactly what you were just saying.
Exactly. I'm like, that's where the fat is. That's where all the waste technically really is. Giving a hungry person $50 a month for groceries is not the reason that we're in the trouble we're in. And then the final thing, the biggest thing about all this that I keep saying, okay, let's just say that they cut this, they cut that. Oh, we saved 50 million here, we saved 60 million there, we saved 70 million there. This is the taxpayers' money. We're doing all that. Okay, so with that money, with all that excess money that you're saving, you gonna give it back? You gonna write us a check and give us some money back? What are you going to do with all that excess money you find or cut or now no longer have to spend? Where you gonna give people their money back? Absolutely not. What are you going to do with all of this money, that is found or saved or spared? What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
We see what's being done to it. We're making sure you fired 10 people, so now Elon can get 300 million. You're cutting this department, and now somebody else doesn't have to cut anything in their perspective for anything that they're trying to do. And you can now go after the people that went after Elon and his unethical business practices. Now you can get rid of them. That's where the money and things are being cut. It's not really being cut where the waste really is. And that's the saddest part of all. If this continues to go like this, it is literally going to be then and that's it.
Yep.
Everyone else is going to have.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yeah, well, hold on one second. Let me say this. Let me say this because I wanted to get this off, and I don't know of. Well, let me two W's. One, W's in the chat for Jenny. Jenny sent a $25 donation saying to help his brother escape Florida and receive medical assistance. Thank you so much for that $25 donation, Jenny. That was so kind of you. And guys, W's in the chat for my friend Will Westmoreland. I don't know if Will is still here. I'm going to have to send him a text. Massive W's in the chat for Will Westmoreland, who added a $100 donation to the mutual aid fund. Will, you are absolutely insane. Thank you for that $100 donation. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to help support mutual aid. Again, all this week, we are taking up mutual aid to help support Uptown Sports Brother, who is trying to escape. The Uptown Sports Brother and partner is trying to escape a horrible situation in Florida. And so we're doing everything that we can to possibly help them. And we are starting every third week of the month here on Late Nights with Santana. We are collecting money to go to different mutual aids. So if you are in the Discord, if you're a subscriber, get in the Discord. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. But you get access to the Discord, access to a lot of great resources. But also there's a mutual aid channel where if you need support, we try to do what we can to help our community. But if you can't afford a subscription, if you can't make it into the Discord, we understand. There is a link in my link tree to my my mutual aid email. So if you are not in the Discord and you do need help with mutual aid, if you actually send over the email, it will be vetted and you will be considered as well to be added as one of the people that we do mutual aid for on the third week of the month. So every third week of the month, we will be doing mutual aid. Again, this week is for Uptown Sports Brother. If you can donate, please consider donating. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Santana Speaks 24. This week is Uptown Sports Brother. Next time, it may be you. You never know. So please consider donating. Uptown Sports.
Yeah, I just had to dip off just because I got nephew and nieces duties in the morning. So again, Santana, appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who donated. Thank you guys so much. Kay as well in the chat. They're amazing. Appreciate you. DP, I gave you a follow because you were absolutely cooking. You, Ty, and Jason as well. So I appreciate you guys for everything. Thank you guys so much, Santana. You have yourself a blessed night.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. I know we're going to be in communications tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
We love you too, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Love y'all.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're getting close towards the end of the night, and I did want to let everyone speak, so I want to pass it around the panel. Flack, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Flack, I want to give you the floor first. I know there's been a lot of conversation going back and forth, and even more so, thank you so much for being receptive. You came up and you said, hey, where can I find that information? I sent that information to you. It seems like you're receptive. You're going to take time to look through it. Thank you for being receptive. Thank you for being respectful. Where would you like to, anything else you would like to add for before I drop you down, my friend?
Yes. I just want to reiterate, when people fear that people getting food stamps are just going to get cut off, and that's not what the administration has been saying. It's not what they've ever said. They've always said, I mean, the GAO website, government website, says 2023, 100 billion. Wait, let me fact check that. I don't know if it was 100 billion or 100 million, in fraud. From Medicare. This is what they're looking. This is what they're looking for. And last thing I want to say is Elon. he did get that contract. That contract was out there before Donald Trump was president, but it wasn't secured though. But Elon has been saving NASA. You know, we pay for NASA's all their programs and stuff, and he's saved them billions of dollars. You know, that's our taxpayer money. They use SpaceX to launch stuff now because it costs
Yes,
way
but
less
he
money.
also said that he was not going to donate any money initially. He also said that he was not going to support one candidate or the other. He also said a bunch of things, and then all of a sudden he started donating all of this money and getting more and more and more and more involved, where he is literally standing in the Oval Office making decisions. So it's just a huge conflict of interest either way. If he wanted to do what he's doing now, why not say, okay, I've been running these organizations and running these companies. Now I've decided that I'm going to help get involved in cutting government and wasteful spending, and I'm going to work on this. I'm going to put my companies and organizations aside to make sure there's no conflicts of interest, or I'm not benefiting, or I'm not basically peeking in the pockets that I take my money out of, and I'm going to focus on this, or I'm going to actually hire or have real actual bookkeepers, auditors, accountants, people who actually do this for a living, that actually look at the checks and balances and can really look and see what's going on. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not benefiting from that. That's where the issue came in.
Yep. All right. I'm
Right.
sorry.
So
One second. Because again, guys, I know everybody want to kind of flesh out a conversation, but we are at the end of the night and we're kind of winding it down. So please, everyone stay on mute until I get to you, and because I want to give everybody opportunity to say final words. But Flat, I
can I
apologize.
say one more
Go ahead.
thing?
Yeah. Finish your point for me.
So Elon Musk did do that when he saved taxpayer money by contracting with SpaceX. Did he make money? Yes, he has the right to do that. Does he have the right to change his mind about endorsing a candidate? Yes. As far as conflict of interest, there's conflict of interest all over our government, and there's nothing we can do to change that. Yeah, an oil company donates to the senator's campaign. He votes against banning oil. That's a conflict of interest. You know, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I hear you, friend, but listen, I mean, it's like saying that you're gonna put a butcher in charge of a hog farm, right? I mean, like there's different conflicts of interest as far as, you know, just being someone who may eat bacon, or versus being someone who makes their living off bacon. And Elon Musk makes his living off bacon, and now he's been put in charge of the hog farm. There's a huge difference between those two things. So you're right. I mean, there's always some type of conflict, but it seems that there's a glaring conflict in this situation.
would you rather have somebody?
Somebody else.
Okay,
Somebody
so
else.
if you had a bag with $1 million in it,
Mhm.
and you had to leave it with one of two people, one person makes 150,000 a year, that's what they're worth, and one person is worth 400 billion. Who do you trust not to take your money?
The person makes 150.
Why?
Because the person that makes 150K a year is more often than not a working person that understands the value of a dollar and understands how much that someone would actually have to do to have said money, versus the greedy billionaire. Like the idea that you guys think that the richest man on earth doesn't want more money is absolutely insane. The only thing better than current money is new money. There is no way.
But his money isn't going anywhere.
It doesn't matter.
That guy with 150,000 could be fired tomorrow.
It does not matter.
He could be struggling.
Listen, the most
and he sees your bag of $1 million.
The most insane idea
That's
that you
what
have.
they've been doing, though.
Flack.
That's what
The
they've
most
been doing.
insane idea that you have is thinking that the richest man on earth doesn't want more money. It doesn't matter if it's $100 or $100 million or $100 billion. Now, what would change is what he would do to get said money, depending on how much it is. But regardless, he wants more money. He wants more money.
But the guy that makes 150,000, he don't want no more money.
It's there's a huge. Hold on one second. There's a huge difference between putting someone again. Like my point is, I think Doge is a great idea. I think the execution of Doge is poor. I think the idea of appointing Elon Musk is poor. Not just because he's the richest man on earth, but also because he is not vetted. So he doesn't have proper security clearances. Yes, he has security clearances with his contracts, but he doesn't have proper security clearances to do what he does. But even more than that, those should be a bipartisan committee that is rooted in getting different spending out of the government. But we also have current agencies that do that. Like it's all conflated. It's all absolutely insane. And again, Elon Musk is not the person that should be in charge of it. Just my and also he's not the person in charge of it. Like that's another issue. There's no real transparency. At first Elon was in charge. Now he's not in charge. And now they're trying to CYA. It's the weirdest thing. They're doing everything under cloak and dagger. It's just a whole thing. It's a whole
All right,
thing.
we got 7 minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and mute.
No problem. No, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you for coming up. You're more than welcome back anytime.
Yep.
All right. Guys, let me just say this real quick. Guys, W's in the chat for Jessica Simone. W's in the chat for Jessica Simone, who sent a $10 donation for mutual aid. Jessica Simone, you are absolutely... Drop some motherfucking coconuts in the chat for Jessica Simone. Jessica, you are absolutely awesome. Thank you for that $10 donation towards mutual aid. Guys, if you can donate, please consider donating. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Everything that you donate will go towards mutual aid. I'll just say this real quick. Guys, if you're not following me on all the social medias, make sure you're following me. We're live streaming right now on YouTube and Twitch. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, please consider subscribing. It's free. It's free. All you have to do is go to @Santana Speaks and click the sub button, and it's free. So follow me on all my social medias here on the TikTok, on Blue Sky, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Let's see, Jason, where would you like to end this, my friend?
I just wanted to co-sign what you were saying about the person with less money.
Am I off base, Jason?
No, you're not, because I have an instance of that, like myself, right? You know, you could put $10 million in front of me, and I could be struggling out my butt, and I'm not gonna take one penny, not one penny. I won't do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not morally built like that. Mm-hmm. And there's a kid that was in New Mexico who found one of those bags where they empty out from the ATMs, mm-hmm. found $250,000. A poor kid, you know, he's a Hispanic and he's a Native American. And you know what he did? He didn't take a penny. He turned it in. You know, if they want to look at things that they can go, how about every single congressman that does 2 terms, or a senator that does 1 term, gets paying benefits for the rest of their life? How about we start there? Yeah. Stop their paying benefits for them and their families. No more free college and free medical for the rest of their life. No more getting to keep the house that the government paid for them, or give them a lot of money to buy. They rescind that. They take that back. You know, at the end of your term, you go home. Yeah. And then have term limits. You eliminate the corruption, and you stop the overpaying. What job do you know where you could work for 4 years or 6 years and get, you know, retirement with the same pay and benefits, 100% of it, for the rest of your life? Nowhere. And what job would you know that would be able to vote on your own pay raise? Yeah. That's crazy. But I just wanted to say thank you for letting me up and hearing my voice, man. It's always a pleasure. I am following you on every single platform.
Hey, W's in the chat for Jason.
Always, man. Because I tell you what, man, you're a really good dude, and I know sometimes you can get real with people, but at the same time, man, your heart is always in the right place. You have a moral compass that's true north, man.
Listen, I don't. I'm not even lying. I do not, but I have great people around me, including my wife, and she's literally my Jiminy Cricket. But I have great people around me that keep me on the straight and narrow. So, but thank you for at least acknowledging that, and I will acknowledge them. So,
thank you again, man.
Absolutely. Ty, what do you have?
First of all, I want to say to the other panelists, DP, you came up and you did your thing. Everything that you said, I agree with. You came and gave facts. But one thing about whether we want to give that money to a billionaire or someone who is 100,000-aire or whatever, we do that all the time. We already see that's the structure of employment. That's the structure of business. I work for a multi-billion-dollar company, and they only pay me $100,000, less than $100,000 a year. But in return, I handle $2.4 million in assets per night. That's what I do. I do the billing for $2.4 million in assets per night and moved that out to the stores. So hopefully that when the American or the public goes to get it, it's there and available for them. So I think that putting our money with someone who would be more trustworthy is just what companies do anyways. So giving it to Elon Musk would not help us.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. And as I was telling y'all, I am at work right now. So I even was on a call just a moment ago. And that's why y'all heard me speak up, because I was actually saying something on the call and then I had to step away.
No,
But
you're good. You're good, Ty. You know, I always appreciate when you come in here, and that's why I enjoy letting you do heavy lifting for me when I need it. So thank you for coming up, and thank you for blessing the panel again this evening.
no problem. Everyone have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you.
You too.
DP, what do you have?
Thanks. I just want to say thank you guys for giving me a chance to speak up as well. And thank you, Ty, and everybody here for contributing and being supportive. I don't always usually speak up in things like this, but we're at a different time where things need to be said, and we have to just be more kind to each other and supportive of each other. But we also have to be realistic about the actuality and the facts of what we're actually dealing with. That's really what it is. We all need to make sure that we are just, knowledgeable about what's really going on, so we can really make real decisions and not just be deceived and go along and know what's really going on. And I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Absolutely. Listen, thank you for coming up. You were absolutely awesome, and you brought so much facts and information. You are always welcome back here. Thank you for what you did.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Dim Sum, you have the floor last. What would you like to add?
I just want to say foreign policy, less than 1%, just for those of us out there. Second, the $1 million thing, like my man was saying before he had left, we do that every day. Like a billionaire would rather fire somebody that's making $2 million and hire somebody new to pay them $200,000 for doing the same job.
Yep.
So, I mean, it happens every day.
Yep.
So, yeah, the millionaires going to be way more greedy. But I want to say thank you for having me up. Peace out. Santana, I just followed you. So, man, I'm going to keep coming back. But this is my second time. I was here last time. You cussed, you called popcorn kettle corn. So, yeah.
Thank you for coming hanging out, my friend. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Listen, I want to do something special. I want to speak to one last point, but I also want to do one thing special. Guys, for anyone that's watching, one person. I need one person, anyone that's watching, one person, call the Twitch/YouTube number. Call the Twitch/YouTube number. I just need one person to do the outro with me. So, first person that calls, I will have you up and have you do the outro with me. Thank you so much. Guys, listen, I want to share one quick story, right? As some of you guys know, I am a huge wrestling fan, right? Huge wrestling fan. I thoroughly enjoy wrestling. And one thing that actually happened that was super interesting is, especially around the time of the pandemic and a bunch of tax cuts were given, they actually started laying off people within the company, right? So they laid off people within the company. They laid off people, wrestlers, and all this other stuff. They were making record profits, but in order to make sure that they continued to actually make record profits, hold on. I think you're calling the wrong. No, you got to call. You're calling me directly. No, you have to call. I see who's calling. You have to call the number on the screen, not my phone. Call the number on the screen, the actual Twitch/YouTube calling number on the screen. 347-504-1042. That is the Twitch/YouTube number. There we go. Hold on. Let's see.
Call from.
Oh. 475041042. That is the Twitch/YouTube number.
Hawk, you gotta. Okay, there we go. Hawk, say hey to the people.
What's up, people?
All right, Hawk is gonna do the outro with me. Guys, yeah, no, listen. They actually were willing to actually lay people off and actually get rid of their staff so they could continue to make record high profits versus just actually, sacrificing not making as much as they made, the quarter before, whatever. Hawk, am I off base? Like, am I wrong with that thought process?
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the last 2 or 3 people you had on the panel was saying it right or whatever. Especially with a billionaire, he'd rather fire whatever, and all he cares about is making his money. He don't care about anybody else. So
Yeah, I don't know, Hawk. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It is late. It is t-shirt time, and I am tired. With that being said, guys, thank you all for the likes, the taps, the shares, all the love. Guys, remember, we are still in the middle of mutual aid week. We the money that we made last night, the money that we made tonight, the money that we made tomorrow, every single penny will be donated to mutual aid. So again, if you have an opportunity to donate, please donate. And also a portion of all the funds that are raised during Sparring with Santana will be donated as well. We are going to do everything that we can for this week to help with Mutual Aid Week, and we will be doing that every third week of the month. We want to make sure that we're giving back to our community and we're giving back to those people that really, really need it. So if you can spare anything, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. We want to make sure that we're taking care of each other. We need to take care of each other. With that being said, guys, again, thank you for the likes, the taps, the shares. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the amazing conversation. Looks like Jaden's online. Guys, let's go raid Jaden. Jaden is online. It looks like he's doing some debates. Let's go over and raid Jaden. Let's go raid Jaden. Thank you for everything. I love you all. And Hawk said with me, peace.
Peace.
Appreciate you, Hawk.
Thank you for everything.
No sweat. There's a serious delay. What we just did is just coming up.
Is it a delay from like the
we were like 30 seconds ahead of what was on my tablet. No. We're good. It's a direct call, yeah. No, I couldn't hear nothing. I mean, it's a Google call, so no, I didn't hear anything.